Okay. Sorry, some of the camp stuff gets a little bit mucky when you change scenes, so there might be a couple of... If we get into a fight today, it might get a little bit weird on the camera side of things, so just bear with me for a moment. If it does, I'll edit it during the time. Okay. I am going to go ahead and let them know, and we'll get started. All right. 2 secs. Let me unmute on Discord. Okay, I'm going to start bringing you guys up. Hello, 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 hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Super.
Very good.
Good.
He always says hello like 5 times when he intros.
Okay.
He's trying to get
Okay.
Hello, hello, hello.
I'm saying hello to each of you. I'm saying hello to each of you.
Hello. You're like a kindergarten teacher.
Whilst I was editing the cameras, all I could see at one point was Dodger just zooming it in and out, and I was so thrown off. So I was trying to focus on getting Shane's camera inside its frame. I could see.
I'm sorry. It was because I've like adjusted a bunch of shit in my office, which is why it's a disaster behind me. But I've adjusted a bunch of shit in my office, and it was really glaringly obvious to me that my camera was so far. Like the camera's so far away from me. So I was like, I'm just going to zoom in a little so that I'm like around the same size as everybody else. And then the second I did it, I saw you like trying not to laugh. So I just followed my instinct and just kept doing it for a while.
I thought you could see my reaction. I was like, God damn it, dude. I was so distracted.
Sorry.
That's okay. So
Never do it again.
we have no Breban today. She's absent. So we have a substitution teacher come in instead, which will be one of you guys getting to play Bree's character in any combat scenarios, if in case one comes up. Also, bear with me, because I was mucking around and just quickly putting the cams in everywhere. I didn't really think about what that would do to the next scene. So when we change up to the battle scene, we might all be in the wrong place. That's fine. I'll just edit it on the fly. But other than that, yes. Have you had a good weekend so far?
Yeah.
You just saw Final Fantasy live, right? You get to see Cloud Strife
Did.
and
It was
Sephiroth.
so good. So we saw when
Those are the only ones you know.
Are you stupid?
Those are the only characters Joe knows.
before
I went to an orchestra, Joe.
Yeah, it was. We felt like adults. Before Final Fantasy VII Remake like had an announced date, we went to a Final Fantasy VII themed like concert, and it was like okay, but they did a lot of just kind of playing music through the speakers, and we were like, all right, well the parts where they played music were cool. This was like a full-on like
Proper orchestra.
incredible orchestra.
Awesome.
Yeah, like beautiful. We were just like, what the fuck? This is incredible. This is so well done.
It was
I went-
really cool, man.
I went to the Game of Thrones one a couple of years ago. That was like a full-on orchestra with the actual composer, and it's so good to see it live.
Yeah. They took like every single song from the game and then they rewrote it for like an orchestral
Yeah.
performance. And then,
So good.
Cool.
dude, it was crazy good.
It sounds amazing.
I had goosebumps.
Did you
There
cry?
was one song.
No.
No.
He doesn't cry.
There was one song where they were like, before we play this song, we're going to have the composer has a few words to say to you in a video. And the video is basically the composer of this song being like, hey, so we did our best.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like, it doesn't really translate well into like these types of instruments. So we like, I mean, we feel like
Oh,
we got the vibe.
that's very
I'm gonna start
sweet.
doing that like at work, just like I did my best.
It was so honest. Yeah.
That's
That's
awesome.
cool. That's really cool.
And then like way later on in the show, there was another video from Nobuo Uematsu who was basically just like, yeah, this is my song. I fucking crushed it, so enjoy. It was like the opposite.
Nice.
It goes like this.
Yeah, it was great.
That
Yeah,
sounds
it was
so
really
good.
fun.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. All right. Well, that wasn't the Final Fantasy because today we're playing some D&D. Let's do that. All right. Does
yeah.
anyone Does anyone
Think
want
of
to
that one
do
this
the
morning.
recap? Shane, do you want to do it? Oh, I was gonna say his
It's
mouth.
okay, we'll wait.
Mean.
Sip.
We'll
Where
do
is
it
it?
as Aaron.
Oh,
Yeah. Which is also funny because he was mostly just on a raft.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
right.
They
From what
told
I've
me
heard.
this
know
is
what
what
happened.
happened.
Yeah, they
told
told me later that this is what occurred.
Oh, my hotkeys got reset. Hold on.
That's okay. It's okay.
We'll wait.
Hello. Last we left off, they had just descended into Lake Deneth to find one of the 3 passages that would lead them through the swamp to Abatha. After they fought, supposedly, fish folk and a dragon eel, whatever, we left Jen, I don't remember, Jen with the hag, and found the first of the poems. We then went north and stopped at a town known as Warmth, on the edge of the snowy, frosted area of Wolfgard. We found a guide, a hogboar named Og, and requested he take us towards the wise giants of the mountains and the hag that resides within them.
There you go. Shane, I have to tell you the entire time your Aaron voice didn't come on.
Yeah, that's
Did it?
true.
Yeah.
Wait, is it working?
It was great though. It was very good. It was very good.
I just had to license the software that I used because I was using a trial for 2 weeks.
That makes sense.
So my hotkeys not only didn't work, but I'm guessing the microphone isn't picking up.
It's okay. It's okay. You have different cadence anyway as Aaron, so we got
We
it.
could tell.
Understandable.
You're Aaron at heart. Okay. So having just given off Jen to the Sea Hag and travelled northeast toward the town of Warmth, you got a few supplies, and you're planning on going around the mountain to try and find the Annis Hag and potentially the giants along the way. You met up with some hogboar, pigmen that don't really speak your language. Basil was able to communicate with them. And they have left you with one called Og. A stockier one, pretty strong, wearing kind of the closest thing to scout gear you can pretty make out. Kind of, not necessarily leathers, it's more kind of like furred cloth, and has a bunch of kind of like hunting spears on his back, throwable ones. You'd also see his hog grabs hold of a wheelbarrow. In the wheelbarrow, you'd see a series of probably like, in diameter, probably about 2 feet, stone slabs all piled up, about 12 of them or so. And among that, a few other provisions like some kind of dry firewood and whatnot. And then picks up the wheelbarrow, goes, and begins walking through the woodland, leading the way. So, you start heading out into the trees. The pines out here, thicker at the base, and can go up taller than the other pines you'd find out in the west. Deep in the cold where the roots grow deep. You would spend most of the time, sorry, this is really ominous music. I'm just going to put this music on instead. You'd spend most of the time as you're traveling north, kind of in the woodlands to begin with. A good, probably couple of hours go by. And there's no real roads that go up this way. Seems all the roads kind of stopped at Warmth or wrapped to the west. Now you're kind of off trail, going through the woodlands. You occasionally hear the sounds of animals, birds flying in the sky, large, almost these white seagull-like birds that are in the sky. They're kind of flown over from the lake and kind of they hunt and migrate this way north. Other than that, you would see the occasional deer and whatnot. But Og leads the way through it, occasionally sniffing the air, and then nodding his head and heading in different directions. Is there anything you want to do during the day? Of the first day? Okay.
Yeah, I would like to repeatedly ask Og all about his life and his people, and I just want to make you do that voice as much as I can. So
We have no way to actually translate anything to him, though, right?
Technically,
we can only
through
understand
Basil.
him talking.
Technically, I
Basil
do if we
can't
want to use
speak it,
spell
right?
slots.
He can't speak.
Understand.
Yeah, he can't
us.
speak back to them.
If we use a third level spell slot, we can all talk to him for an hour.
Yeah.
But
That's
but
if we wanna
Og
use
can
a spell
understand us, right? Or
Og,
no, he can't
Og can't
understand us.
understand you, but Basil
Basil
can
can
understand.
understand Og.
Basil can use comprehend languages to translate what they're saying, but not translate it back, because he has the earring.
The earring.
So
I
the
think
whole
we should
time,
save the spell that you're talking about, Shane.
Yeah, I was gonna save it for like
an
when we need to talk to
emergency.
him.
Yeah.
It's only gonna be an hour. That's not the whole trip.
Yeah.
the whole time you're
Let us know we get to 1 hour left.
if you're talking to Og the entire time, he would be ignoring you. Especially if you're just talking. If you're not doing any gestures, he would be ignoring you. He just can occasionally looks back.
I'm joking. I wouldn't do that.
Okay, I don't believe you. I think you definitely would talk to Og for the first probably at least 20 minutes. So the first day passes pretty normally. You're still in kind of the occasional woodland, treading through the cold snow. Only a couple of you are used to this, but you'd feel the chill starts to come on and the snow starts to deepen as you're wrapping around the mountain. You're not too close to the mountain right now. You're a good probably at least like maybe a quarter mile out of it, sticking to the woodlands, passing through them. The first night that you stop, Og would kind of gather around and go, and then point to the trees and look around and find this kind of almost like a bush that has really thick leaves that come out of it. They're green and white at the top. And he'd get a knife. They're kind of like almost like thistle kind of bushes as they come out. He'd get a knife and he'd cut off one of the leaves and squirt out this almost sap-like substance and just start wiping it on his face and then point to all of you. Puts more on and wipes it on his face.
Basil will use comprehend languages. What
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
What's he
right.
saying?
Baz would understand as he says, this will deter all sorts of creatures. Just make sure your face is nice and covered. They don't like the taste.
Smell
Yeah,
it first.
Bobby will look like a weird matted
Oh,
rat.
yeah, it's gonna be gross on your fur.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sticky like sap is. Kind of almost got the feeling of like maple syrup or like a golden syrup.
Oh.
So it does immediately get pretty sticky. When you smell it, Fia, it's immediately burns your nostrils. It's got this like almost like when you're smelling hot sauce, a really hot sauce. It's got this kind of burning sensation. Having it on your skin doesn't seem to burn it, but it smells hot. You'd see as Og puts down the wheelbarrow, pushes away some of the snow on the ground, and builds like a little kind of circular den, digs a little bit of the dirt up, pushes it to the side, and lies into the hole. And then pulls a blanket over for the first night.
Basil uses his earring because Og was just like, "Good night, everyone. Hope you sleep well."
Og doesn't say goodnight.
Damn it. Okay, fine. All right. I don't know. Let's hunker down and go to bed.
Okay. So the first night goes by without much distress, just traveling northward. Could I get one of you to roll a d20 to determine tomorrow's weather effects?
Who want to do it?
Me.
You got it.
Not me.
A 2.
Hey.
Okay.
Not a 1.
So, the next day, you set out, and immediately in the morning, you can feel the snow drizzling down. And anyone who's trying to lie in, within minutes, you'd feel as it starts blowing pretty heavily. And Og gets up and kind of points up at the sky, and then does like a shivering kind of gesture before wandering over, heading towards the mountain. He would walk, put his kind of blanket up over his head and kind of clothe it over so he has a bit of a lip, and grabs hold of the wheelbarrow and just trudges along a little bit more desperately now. But begins walking adjacent to the mountain this time, where you might have overhanging lips to kind of blow back from the cold. You'd feel as the blizzard is almost wrapping around the mountain, but you're not getting the full brunt of it as it starts to kick off. You'd feel the trees kind of withering and blowing in the distance around you. You carry on going for a little while. Could I get a Constitution saving throw from everyone? Scold, you do not have to do it. As is your Krigvenways.
There's Timmy.
Yeah. 24.
7.
No.
Okay.
There's Aaron.
I gotta grow in my winter fur fast, guy.
Yeah. Fabio,
The ring. Or the circlet or whatever. Will that make you warmer? If you just make your hair grow longer.
Yeah.
it's
Can I
technically
just
more
grow a
hair.
bunch of hair?
I'll give you, go ahead and have an advantage on the Constitution saving throw if you grow more hair
Amazing.
with the.
Yeah.
Like-
the second I start to get really cold, I'll just.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Come on, how does that work?
You find that the hair is like just a thin amount of hair. And in fact, it gets a little bit worse for you because as the wind blows, you're now just getting the hair in your eyes and your face, and you're not getting used to it. And the patches where it's kind of blowing open the hair is just getting hit by all of the cold. So you just start to shiver a little bit more.
Oh my gosh.
Heading beside the mountain, you're kind of going at half speed. Everyone's moving slower due to Fabia not being able to kind of handle the cold as much. You take 2 points of cold damage as just you're kind of freezing up a little bit. You're just exiting out of the woodlands. It's a couple hours into the next day when... Can I get a perception check? Disadvantage from everyone, but if you already would have advantage with smell or hearing, it becomes a normal roll.
Okay. 26.
14.
19.
26. What do you roll, Scold?
I had to refresh. What am I rolling?
A perception check.
Cameras.
This camera's frozen. He
Yeah,
looks
without-
it
without
looks so
advantage.
grumpy.
Yeah.
Let me know. Is it to smell or is it to something else?
Without
It'd be smell,
advantage,
but
because
it'd be-
everyone else has disadvantage.
Yeah, because you're in a blizzard.
Oh, that's a 7.
To be fair, the blizzard would get in, kind of just block a lot of the ways you smell. So you're struggling to smell it. But hearing, through the whispering sounds of the wind, Fabi, you would hear the sound of 3 bowstrings being drawn back. Something in the
Okay.
woods.
I think like the whole time, Fabia's been like really obnoxious about how cold she is,
Mhm.
and so it's been a lot of just like like a lot of just like yelling and bitching and complaining about the cold, and then she hears that and then goes, guys, for real, guys.
What?
And she'll like tap her ears and she'll message to you, someone's drawing bows.
Feel
And then she'll
slightly panic and then be like,
yeah, she'll do this like
Yeah.
like get down, and then she'll like try to kind of like hide in the snow or like behind something.
Okay. Well, go ahead and roll a stealth check. I would say with advantage because you're hiding in a blizzard. Everyone who wants
22.
to hide.
Oh, that's gonna be a normal roll for me. Yeah.
It's true. 22. You immediately disappear into the snow. The adrenaline keeping you warm for the moment.
Dude,
Timmy.
no.
You don't have advantage. Okay.
that's with normal flat roll.
You, as you're getting down, your armor hits against a rock, and you see this, clink! And then you, because the sun's still shining, it's kind of sending off this glimmer. So you just see the kind of just shimmering glimmer from your chainmail in the light.
What do I do? I think they can see me.
I think Fia would start to try to hide, and then if she saw that, she would stop. She's not gonna leave just like Timmy just standing there by
Hulk
his own
stops and
self.
goes, nodding to they not going to stop. He's like,
And Basil says,
Basil can't talk to him.
yeah, Basil can't talk to him.
"Yeah, but Basil
just
knows what he says."
Translating him.
Yeah.
Skull
okay.
would follow him. Skull's not stopping.
Basil would say, he said we have to keep moving. He doesn't, I don't think he heard the thing. And then when he not sees Scott, he continues trudging along.
Okay.
Should we talk to him? Should I let him understand us? This seems important.
Did we hear anything? Well, I guess we wouldn't have heard anything else.
I didn't hear it. No, only.
Yeah. No one else heard it, right? Only Fabia.
Right.
Only Fabia.
Okay. I guess I'll say out loud, although, because I'm assuming Fabia hid well enough, I can't actually see her. So I'll be like, okay, I guess we can keep going, and those of us who can hide can maybe stay a little hidden and start to turn, to follow.
Okay.
Okay.
So you following the
So
group?
those of us who want to try to stealthily move.
Yeah,
just
right?
Move
Maybe.
stealthily.
Okay. So who's continuing on with the pack?
I guess all of
Me.
us.
I will.
Okay.
I'll get up.
Are you staying
Embarrassed.
hidden, Fabia?
Fabia will, definitely try to stay hidden and try to even through the blizzard, try to see the glint of an arrow or something to try and pinpoint where that was.
You do not hear any firing of arrows or see any as the group kind of moves on a little bit. But a couple seconds later, you'd hear footsteps through the snow. And just a little ways from you, roll a perception check with sight.
Normal or at disadvantage?
Straight roll, just because even though you're in a blizzard, they're kind of close to you now and they don't see you. And you're kind of preparing for it.
22.
You see the complete outline of a furred up, pale-skinned drow elf. And another one steps up beside him. And it is a normal kind of slightly tan-skinned elf with long black hair. The first one, a lady, her hair is kind of white and drifts down into black at the bottom. And the two start speaking Elvish. You'd
What
hear
do
it.
they say?
Because you speak Elvish, don't you? Yeah. So you'd hear the drow say, "A group of about 6 of them." The other one looks. All right. Well, we should follow them for a little while, and then we can report back to Iridesce.
And then what?
We can report back to Iridesce.
Iridesce. Okay.
You see them trudging
hold on.
ahead. Mhm.
Wait, let me read a spell really fast. Oh shoot. Okay, never mind.
Well, you can suggest it. I mean, if it's cool.
I was going to, because there's already a blizzard, so I was like, they wouldn't question it, but I was going to add on top of the already existing obfuscation a huge fog cloud. But it disperses with wind.
Yeah.
Which
so
there
get
is in a blizzard.
Yeah. You'd hear the whistling wind. And then you'd see a couple more elves step out. And one of them looks.
This is 5 so far?
4 at the moment.
4.
2 of the other ones, normal standard woodland elves. One blonde hair, the other one kind of shorter with blonde hair as well. One of the new ones says, in Elvish still, "The druids are going to be following as birds. They want to see if they harm the forest. We'll follow from the back. Keep your bows ready. If they chop any wood, we'll bring them down." And they start moving, following the group.
Okay. Can I try to catch up with everybody without being noticed?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a stealth check with advantage as you're sneaking past them in the guise of a blizzard.
23.
Okay, I'll roll to see if they see you.
No way, dude. Come on.
You slip past them. The wind covering your footsteps, the snow kind of blocking it, and they're focused straight ahead towards the group as they're slowly trudging through. A moment you would see a kind of snow white eagle fly overhead, followed by another one flying towards the group. And you'd slip round and catch up with the group who are just trudging through, going through kind of like a pathway, like a clearing between the next set of woodlands, next to the mountains itself.
Okay. Fabio will like try to like super casually come up behind Fia and Timothy, even though they're at very different heights, and try to like sling arms over their shoulders and be like, hey guys, so don't freak out. There's like 4 elves that are following us right now, and they're waiting to see whether or not we fuck up and start hurting shit in this forest, even trees. So, no worries. We just need to not do stupid shit.
Should we tell the hog?
He probably knows, right? If they know this path, he must know.
He probably knows. They seem like they probably keep an eye on. Do you know who was it? Iridesce?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, do we know who Iridesce is? Is that a guy? Is that a person?
Do we?
They said they report to Iridesce, so I assume it's like elf head honcho here.
Go ahead and roll wisdom checks. Straight.
I will not.
17.
17.
Both 17s. How cute. How quaint.
You've met an Iridesce.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was just typing that in chat.
She, an Iridesce was part of your crew. She was the druid carpenter.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh.
I forgot all their names. It's been so long.
Yeah, same.
It's been a while.
I
commit.
definitely.
Do we
was
know
not-
who that is?
I'm definitely not typing that. Like, what if this is a mistake in the name, and then I say it? Sorry. Wait. Iridesce? Like,
Yeah.
our
Does that ring any bells? That rings no bells to me.
Me either.
basket weaver who we brought with on the ship?
Oh, yeah.
You know, you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
your shop is so
Wait,
cute.
she
Let's
didn't-
just
she didn't
buy
leave?
everything." No, she said she wanted to come to Wolfguard. Remember, to like heal the.
Oh, shit. You right.
What if it's
Wait, so
how
did she
common a
wait?
name is?
Now I'm curious. Does this mean that she heard that we were in the forest and she doesn't trust us because we were wacky bitches on the boat, or is this like
Okay.
what?
I don't know.
We were wacky bitches. There's a reason she never came to the top of the ship, dude.
That's true.
Scott will see that they're dragging their feet and he'll trudge over. What are you talking about?
Iridesce.
There's a bunch of elves following us,
Who?
but apparently, what? Elves. Have you not heard of elves? Wait, did you say something?
Look at yours.
I'm sorry.
She said it.
It's
She
really
said
loud.
Iridesce. I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's the.
Don't you
How could you
remember?
forget?
Iridesce, the
No.
lady who was gonna take care of the ship. You know, right? Like she healed
Yeah,
the ship.
she grew,
No.
Made the
grew
really
wood
nice
on the ship and stuff.
Doesn't ring a bell. No.
Okay, well, anyways, we
still
knew
had
her.
her for a
She was on
long
the boat with us. Apparently, they all like work. Oh, sorry. Apparently, they all like work for her. Maybe, I don't know. They said they'll report back to her. So that's
Who's
Anyways.
they?
the elves.
It's following us.
Yeah, there's some elves following us, and they said that they'll mow us down if we even like cut a tree, dude.
Oh, they said that, did they?
Don't do it,
Don't just look for a
bitch.
tree and hit it.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that.
Well,
Og's turned around. He's just going to stand there with his arms crossed.
wait. What's in his wheelbarrow?
Stone slabs and some just like old firewood.
I'm gonna try. This is a really long shot,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm gonna try to talk to him in Elvish and be like, "Do you understand Elvish?"
Yeah.
He just stares at you.
Okay, tight. Worth a shot.
Yeah, no, it was. Okay, well, let's just not chop down any trees.
Maybe I should go talk to him.
The elves, please
Or we-
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yell hi.
Sure. I'll just go talk to him.
Talk Elvish, huh? Out of the 4 of us,
We
5
should
of
probably-
us, 6 of us.
We should go with to.
No, it's, I think, hang back a bit.
Looks at Fabia like.
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, I'll go with him.
I'm gonna walk towards, I guess, where we were going,
Okay.
and I'll roll stealth.
Okay. What do you mean where you're coming
Wait, you mean
from?
like where we just? You mean where we just
No.
were?
You're gonna walk towards
You want to
Og.
proceed
walking
forward?
I'm walking towards the elves, right? If they're following us, I'm
Okay,
going
yeah,
to
yeah.
stealth.
So you want? Yeah.
I got a nat 20 in stealth.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, the blizzard just completely covers up the fact you're a polar bear. Just kind of sneaking in there.
I'm a creek man.
Okay, well, polar bear like
Damn, Joe.
polar bear akin to.
Okay.
Okay, so you're gonna just walk towards them.
Yeah.
They're kind of you hear the sounds.
I don't think
of
I'm
them.
going to walk towards them. I think I just kind of stand still and let them approach
Yeah, you
after a certain point.
see them kind of moving quite quickly. Their footsteps are quiet and they barely even press on the snow. They seem to almost walk on top of it.
Can I have done the same thing as him, but like a little bit ahead, so that when they pass me, I can kind of like get behind them?
Go ahead and roll a stealth check with advantage.
26.
Yeah, you blend in. You're kind of low to the ground. You see them kind of going past you quite swiftly. Their bows drawn.
I'm gonna not get as close, but I'm gonna go slightly the same way that Fabia has gone, just so that we can still message if necessary.
Okay. With your nat 20 skull,
Yeah.
you'd hear coming towards you, and then one knocks into you, huh? Then looks up.
Skull will just stare down and growl.
Incredible.
Go ahead and roll an intimidation check with advantage.
Incredible.
16.
You see it. You hear an elvish as it kind of shouts. You would understand it, Fabio. It says, "There's a creek then!" And then a couple of elves approach, just rushing through and looking for you. And then see him, and then kind of like look through the snow and see you just kind of outlined right in front of him. He's like slowly kind of trying to grab for an arrow, but he's panicking a little bit.
As he's panicking, Fabio will kind of like stroll up behind him and be like, "Seems like maybe you guys want to chat with us, huh?" But in Elvish.
One of them turns around, who's coming up to kind of protect his familial friend, and looks at you in Elvish. You saw us coming.
Yeah. Sorry.
Puts his hand up to kind of stop the others. You see a couple of the others, all the 4 of them, just kind of stood there. One of them just kind of staring up at the Krigven, up at Scold, kind of shaking. And then he just kind of takes that little whistle and blows it into the air. And blows it again. And you see as the eagles descend. And then one of them stands up, begins casting control weather to change the patterns around you. And you just see as the blizzard starts to ease up.
Oh.
And one of the eagles slowly morphs into the familiar face of Iridesce, your
Hey.
ship's bosun. She looks across at you, Grip, and says, "Oh, what are you doing out here?"
Are
Do
we
I
all
know you?
close enough that we're like in the stopped blizzard?
Yeah,
Part.
it's like you see all the snow's
Okay.
kind of resting on the ground, and
All
you
right,
see
'cause
some
I'm-
of it
I make my
trickling
way
down.
there finally,
Yeah.
slowly.
Just kind of clumping through the snow going up to like nearly your waist, like it's up to the higher than your knees. The elves kind of look towards Iridesce, confused, and look towards all of you. She smiles. They are friends. It is good that you approached. They would have shot before asking questions. They
Timothy, do we know her?
God damn it.
She was under the boat with me, but I didn't talk to her. I
Yes.
didn't know her name.
Iridesce, how have you been? Looks at them like, fucking hell, mate.
Great, actually. Up here, it's been fantastic. Where are you going?
Oh, just to the mountains to find somebody. We're on the trail of someone who is trying to kill us, so we're gonna try to kill them. We're
Never a dull moment with you lot.
Yeah. Have you seen anybody that that I cast
Sucks.
minor illusion and make the shitty illithid that we saw in Magnathor's tomb? Have you seen this guy?
Or look at it confused. Looks and they all not shake their heads.
Or
No?
maybe he has a cloak on because his face is gross.
Well, have you seen anybody pass through here? Well, we should say.
One of them goes, huh. Yes. There was a cloaked man wearing all black. He passed through the snow. He drifted on top of the snow, as we do. We did not approach. There was something dark about him, but he did not stir the woods. You see, Og
How
kind
long
of
ago?
trods bang, goes, just kind of looking across at all the elves, and then pulls out a spear, shaking a little bit. And they go,
Oh, chill.
It's fine.
Slowly lowers it. The elves stare at him.
This is our guide, Og.
Yes, they don't get on with the hogboar here.
Oh.
They used to cut down the woods. It's part of the reason why they're so protective over it. We're doing a restoration program at the moment. We managed to grow 4 trees in a week.
Whoa.
That's great. So what did you just kind of headed out? You left Tithmore and just
When you all left, I mean, I came here for a reason. I wanted to restore the Deadlands, but obviously we would head straight there. So we've been practicing up here. I came across their group as they were traveling, and they invited me to be with them. I think due to my prowess in restorative magic, I've been able to help them pretty quickly. Most of this forest didn't exist before 4 months ago. You see, it's a pretty dense forest. For the most part.
pretty good.
Nice. Well done.
Thank you. I mean, I can't take all the credit, but it's good to see you all well.
Yeah, hanging out in a blizzard, gonna kill a creepy guy, looking for a hag. Do you know where is?
You just see all of the eyes of the elves stare at you. And then one of them in Elvish says, Angra.
Yeah.
And then as he says it, all of the elves just take out a piece of bark and just scrape on their head and bite it and put it back in their pockets. You just, it's a kind of bad luck to say her name around these parts.
Oh.
Well, we didn't say it.
Yes,
Yeah.
they tend to do that.
Okay. So yeah, we're looking for her, the creepy guy that drifted on the snow. He's looking for her. We're trying to catch him.
Oh, that was weeks ago.
Oh,
Ah. Well, all right. We're gonna catch up to him. We're gonna find her and then figure out where he went next.
Yes.
If he's not still there.
All right. Well, I wish you luck on that. Can we give you anything in your way?
Yeah, how come you guys are really nervous, right? I say in Elvish. What's she like?
Tamria? You see
Tell us.
the drow kind of looks around and then looks across your group. And then moves to common. She is only sought out by the most desperate. She feeds on fear. She delights in terrifying. Of all the hags, the Anis is probably the worst one. Not in prowess necessarily, but in desire. A green hag might be sought out to make a deal, and they might find playful ways to trick you. The Anis will look for the most harmful ways. Whereas a green hag might ask to take your hand in marriage, an Anis hag might just ask to take your hand.
Okay.
Very cruel beings. But
Cool.
I'm sure you're more than capable. I've told them about the sea hydra. Let me. You see, as she kind of reaches out and she kind of takes out this, these small kind of flowers and then hands them out to each of you. These.
Oh.
Oh, did we lose Sam?
Shane.
Oh, Shane.
Oh, Shane. All the cameras will be out of work for a second. You see, she takes out these flowers, and as she kind of hands them out to everyone, they give off a slight bit of warmth. And she goes, just put them here. They'll keep you a little bit warmer if you need it.
Oh, me.
She hands the one she was about to hand to Scold to you instead and looks at Scold, kind of realizing that he doesn't need it. Just gives you 2. You just see as some of the snow just melts off of you a little bit. They don't give one to Og, who just kind of stares at them, watching them kind of.
Ouch.
Poor Og.
I thank you for bringing us up here. Hopefully by the next time we see each other, I mean, unless you need me back on the ship. Hopefully we'll restore some of the Deadlands.
Follow your bliss.
Yeah.
You're crushing it out here.
It's great.
What's their rules? He'll like nod at the elves.
Yeah, no chopping trees. No. What are? We just shouldn't touch anything.
They judged you based on the hog boar. They'd rather see them freeze than harvest any of the trees. But if you need, for desperacy, some form of survival, and you need to cut down a tree, do so. But we'd ask that you be cautious with it. Some of these trees are more inherently magic. We're trying to breed a new type of tree. Something that would be...
What about food?
Cool.
Animals?
Animals are open season, open game, as long as you use the majority of their parts. You don't just kill
Then
for
we're
fun.
good.
Good.
He'll turn around and walk towards the hog ball.
Okay. And looks at you.
Thank
Kind
you.
of turns and begins trudging back through and picks up his... Rushes to kind of get his wheelbarrow. He would have left it behind. Kind of turns and starts pushing through again.
It
about
was
the
it's really good to see you, Iridesce. I'm glad that that you I don't know, found your place. That's pretty cool. If
Well,
you make it over to the other side of Wolfguard, if you want to leave us a message or anything, just ask for Old Blue's estate, and that's where it's kind of like where we're living. So, well, while we're here. So,
Yes. Okay.
all right.
Sure. Try and find some peace of your own. Sounds like all you know is war. Good luck out there. And I hope you catch
Thanks.
your creature. Right, let's get back to it. Yeah, I was going to bow their heads to you and all turn and begin wandering back through the snow towards the woods.
Nice.
You, undisturbed again now, pass back on beside the mountains. You see as they kind of grow tall into the sky, the kind of clouds ahead drifting at the top of the mountains. You don't really see the peak. But you can see now all the sides of this as you're on the northern side of the mountain, wrapping all the way around. The woods start to stop around these points, and you start to see more plains. But as night comes to a close again for the second day, traveled into the evening. Once again, Hogbar finds a little bit of the sap, brings it over, and begins wiping on his face and then handing out some of the leaves to you all. He also would walk up towards the mountain as you're kind of just underneath it now, and look across the rock, get a spear and wait, and he just jabs it, and it looks like he's stabbing into the rock. You just see this kind of almost shimmer, and then you hear like a and a lizard loses its camouflage and curls up around the spear.
Oh.
He comes back, goes, pushes it off, gets some of the firewood, and starts building a little fire to cook the lizard on. What you really notice is the lizard's probably only big enough for him. And he builds a kind of personal fire and then just starts roasting it and then taking bites occasionally. Doesn't look at any of you as he's eating his own food.
Okay. I see how it is.
You can eat rations for the night or you can go hunting if you like.
I'll hunt.
Okay, go ahead and do what you're going to hunt with, what you're going to hunt for. There's all sorts of just kind of game and animals around. Do you want to go for something small, something big, birds, deer?
Probably a deer or something. Feed the group.
Okay, go ahead and roll a survival check and tell me how you want to hunt it.
I would hunt with earthen grasp.
Okay, go ahead and roll a survival check with advantage.
That's a 1 and a 2, my friend.
Amazing.
A couple hours go by. You're really struggling to get close enough to cast Earthen Grasp on them. And now, ironically, with the blizzard gone, it's a lot easier to kind of see you. You can try again after a couple hours, but after that, you're going to start knocking into your rest. So you don't have to have rations. Let's go ahead and do it again with advantage.
12. Fuck me.
You wouldn't be able to get any deer, but you'd probably find a rabbit or two. Or maybe, knowing Fabio's in the group, perhaps just like, probably just some sort of small, like, maybe...
Rabbits are fine. Rabbits are fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
I was gonna say, can I look for like winter berries and mushrooms and things like that I might be able to find when it's this cold?
Yeah, go for it.
No.
The snow from the blizzard's kind of covering up most of it. You'd see a Scold bring back a rabbit or two. Not enough to fill up the whole group, but enough to kind of give you half a meal. You could share it with like half a ration.
He's visibly grumpy.
Yeah.
I ate a ration.
You'd see as the kind of Hogboil kind of sits up and then looks at the food and goes, asking if he can have some.
Ha! What a dick. He just got himself his own lizard.
I'll give him some rations because he ain't getting no fucking rabbit.
So he kind of stares at the food and eats it kind of greedily, finishing off the ration in no time.
I'm gonna prestidigitate my ration to taste like the chocolate cake we had way back in
Okay.
or wherever.
Sure. Yeah.
Amazing.
I want to be on that diet.
Crabby that were in the fucking snow.
Yeah.
It's like I missed the beach.
What they called the thing that soldiers eat, or MRA, whatever it's called. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. You get a couple of rabbits. Fill up a couple of you rations for the others. I imagine you spread it out and stuff, so you can only just knock off 2 rations if you like.
All right.
The morning of the next day comes. It's kind of rough sleeping out here. Go ahead and roll a d20 to see the weather.
Who's doing it this time?
Not it.
A D20?
Yeah, straight d20. Higher the better.
Nat 20.
Oh!
See? Much better.
Very nice. You step out into the day.
Snow melts.
And you suddenly it's spring. You would have the sun beating down on you, and it's a lot warmer for those who prefer the warmth. For you, Scold, it's not warm enough that it affects you or becomes uncomfortable. A lot of the kind of snow is kind of melted away, but you've got a lot of softer snow. It's compact on the kind of road you're taking. A lot easier to move in. You're moving at normal pace now. It doesn't seem to snow. Clear sky, clear fog, easy to kind of see your way. Any dangers you might see along the way would be obvious from afar. You pass for a little while longer until you get to an open plain. You can see up in the sky ahead of you a series of those large white birds just kind of flying and circling, landing in trees, and occasionally just kind of swooping across the plain. But this is a large open plain now. The mountain's on your right. And you've got to get across probably a good couple 100 feet of this plain. You can see this open and goes into the distance of rockery, and in the distance is rockery, but mostly it's just covered in snow. It's just like looking at almost like a sea of snow. You've broken out of the tree lines. The Hogboil stops. Og looks back and puts up his hand, and then looks around, and then points at one of the trees, points at his eye, looks at Basil, and then realizes Basil can kind of communicate a little bit and goes, "We need to find a dead tree." Basil responds to you at that.
Start looking
should be easy enough.
Yeah.
Go ahead, roll some perception checks.
19.
14.
Ooh, Aaron got a 24.
God damn it.
Nice.
Aaron kind of.
Aaron with that robot laser vision.
Yeah, right?
Aaron would have this moment where he's like, oh, can't find one anywhere. And he sits down on like a long log. And realizes and kind of looks down. The hogboard would rush over to you, get one of his spears, kind of scrape it along where the bark is next to Aaron, and grab hold of it and go, put it off, looks, finds a small bouncer, grabs, throws him over his shoulder, picks up one, and then walks over to the other end of the bark, puts his ear up to it, and then scrapes bigger, pulls away some of the bark, and then finds a grub almost the size of like a hand to elbow, just this big, great big grab. Walks back over towards the where the plane of snow is, and then points at the snow, and then does like a no gesture, and then points up at Scold and says, like, does a throw gesture to kind of throw it out into the snow.
So it'll pick up and throw it.
Go and roll an athletics check to see how far you throw it.
12.
You launch it, but not very far. And you see him kind of back off and go, kind of backs off a little bit further, and then looks up. You see the grub is just kind of wriggling around on the ground in the snow on top of it, before one of the birds and then a second one descend down, and then a third one, they start kind of fighting, biting at the grub, pulling at each other, standing on the snow. And then you hear
Oh no.
rumbling from underneath the ground before bursting out the snow in diameter probably about 20 feet. A purple worm goes, the bird just disappears as it comes up into the sky before descending back down into the snow, going under, the snow folding in on itself. And you see as Og goes and then starts going and getting his stone slabs and begins pushing them down, and then points and goes and taps his foot, takes a few, begins placing them down ahead of him and crossing the snow with the stone slabs. When 12 are down, he turns and points so that you can hand the first one across.
Oh.
Passing it
All
across.
right, I got it. Okay. That's not gross and scary. Let's do it.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay. Because you have a guide, there's no rolls needed. You just slowly cross over,
Thank God.
passing. He leaves his wheelbarrow behind on the other side, and eventually places the last stone slab down, steps off, pokes the ground with his spear, hears the clinking of stone, and goes, and then steps on. You're now at the base of the mountains, and you can feel the kind of stone beneath your feet. And he starts to ascend up a kind of a side of the cliff. Not too high, but enough that you're kind of off of the actual base of the snow in the ground. And it's almost like this is like a treaded path. You see almost like naturally built stairway and kind of a pathway that wraps around the mountain. Pretty wide, a good like 30 feet wide. And you're now kind of across the mountain a little bit. As he kind of goes around, a couple hours into your day, he finally stops and looks over where you can see a pathway that leads up into the mountain. You see a little kind of hillside almost like a flat about 40 feet into the air, a flat area with a fencing around it, and these large sheep about the size of a horse, these sheep kind of going around and they're kind of grazing on this unnatural kind of grayish brownish grass in their little habitat, and a small kind of house nearby that's a little bit dented in. And you see the pathway as it winds up. There seems to be an opening of a cave with a large boulder blocking the way. He stands far enough away that he's not going to be seen by whoever's up there, and points at Scold, and then Basil would understand as he goes, giants. Roll perception checks as well.
Sight.
Oof. 6. I don't see or hear.
Sorry, are these sight checks? Or can there be something else?
It's sight.
21.
I still have my night vision goggles on.
24.
Skull
Cold killed it.
and Fabia. Your eyes would descend up the mountain. And you would see, ascend. You'd see perched higher up is the great white rock in its nest, eyeing out over the area. Similar to when you saw that rock the first time, deep in Anna Rolls Mountain.
Oh yeah.
You see now a white rock, eagle-like in its feathers, just resting on a giant nest high up. It looks small from down here, but you realize that it looks big enough to be like almost like seeing an eagle within like 20 feet, which means it must be massive. The mountain does wrap around if you wanted to skip past the giants, and you can stay on the lower end and pass by them. But it does also wrap up if you want to go up that way. Og taps his spear into the ground, nods his head, and goes,
We're down.
Basil would say, "Oh," he says, that's it." And Og continues talking and goes, "Apparently all you have to do is keep following this mountain round, and there's a pathway that leads around the mountain that goes all the way to the cave." Og nods his head toward you. And then turns around and begins walking away, back the way you came.
Oh. Bye. Keep killing it, Og.
He doesn't look back. Not a single time. Okay.
I message. No, I'm kidding.
I think you could do that though.
I could.
I was thinking about doing that, but I think they still need to understand your language.
Yeah.
I think so.
Your
Message. Yeah.
Yeah.
Use
Okay.
tack. Send him a message. Okay. Like we're right here. We should see the giants, right? Like, we can't.
Are giants friendly?
These are like the smart ones, right? They said like.
Yeah, let's
What
go
was it?
talk
Smart
to
people
him.
can be mean still. I don't.
Skull.
Well,
Giants are like your
this
deal.
fucking guy, Pat Scold.
Do you want to go? See
You
if they
should
know
talk to
anything?
him.
Like we should, right?
Sure.
Yeah, a sure is better than a nah, hell nah. So let's go.
An enthusiastic yes from Scold. A sure is like he's fucking down.
Yeah.
All right,
So-
let's do it.
Climbing up the mountain towards where the cave entrance is, as you start to kind of ascend up the almost like stairs built up, but these kind of giant ones built into the actual mountain itself. You see the great archway with a boulder in front blocking the doorway. And over where you'd see the farmland, you now see goats large, the giant goats you would see down in kind of Wolfgard area, with the sheep grazing as well. And the house behind it, though collapsed in one section, has been refurbished and built into kind of almost like a stable, like a kind of a place to keep the cattle, and like a barn. And on top of it, just sat there, sharpening a sword, a long blade, is a Krigven. A shield rests beside him, and he sits atop the building, sharpening with a great big whetstone. He looks down as you kind of make your way up, eyes across you.
Would I recognize this Krigven?
No, it isn't Uven.
Okay.
He
And it's not the one from town.
No. You'd see blackened patches of fur, like natural black fur, amidst this kind of white one, kind of underneath, like the lower layer. You'd see it's mostly around his face and shoulders. He's slightly less broad than Scold, a little bit more slender. But you'd see kind of patches of fur missing on his face from kind of like scars and wounds in battle. He leaps down from the building, just lands in a clump, begins walking over to you, intercepting you before you get up towards the cave. Holding his shield and sword. He slots his shield onto his back and then plants his sword in the ground and holds it with both hands. Looks across at you. Looks to you, Skull. What brings you here?
I seek an audience with your giant.
I serve 3 or 2 now.
Where's the third?
Went off looking for something. Never came back.
As did mine.
The wise ones are inside. I can see if they're available for you. What's your name, Krigven?
It's
Skull.
Few. Which you'd know to mean mountain.
How would you spell that, GM?
Fjell.
He'll do like a nod that is both acknowledgement and hello.
Mm-hmm. He does it back. And then kind of sheaths his sword onto his belt.
One moment.
He walks over to one side beside the building and gets a big support beam. Kind of lifts it over his shoulder, goes next to the boulder, puts it, just pushes down. You see the boulder shift slightly. And he steps in. You'd hear the call of the giant in the background. You'd hear him speaking giant and say,
Skull, a Krigven, and some travelers. Here to see the wise ones.
and he steps back out and looks at you. And waits. And then you hear like a bang. And he nods his head.
Better accept.
He pushes the boulder even more out of the way until it rolls. And stands at the entrance and nods his head to you.
Skull will turn back to the group and say,
These are powerful beings. Best behavior.
and then he'll nod at the Craig Van and walk in.
He nods as you go past.
Bobby will like puff up her chest and walk behind Scold and go, and to try to like nod the same way that Scold did.
In a very Scold
Basil,
fashion.
Like,
He just doesn't acknowledge you, just goes. Just stares at you as you walk in. You'd see the
She'll
walls.
say to Scold, I think he likes me.
best friends.
You'd see the walls on the inside aligned with these built out bones of just kind of arms and legs of just various animals. Torches which are kind of lined up on the wall that lead you all the way inside. The cave is a short walk before you enter a large opening on the inside. You can see it's almost been carved out, and either stalagmites and tights have kind of been chopped away, and the stones kind of been used to kind of build furniture in this room. Large stone chairs carved tremendously. A lot of the stone carving here matches dwarves, if not better. It's on a larger scale. Impressive kind of stonework. And sat in front of almost like a giant, almost like hookah kind of glass tube built of kind of bone and glass itself and weaved. Two giants smoking from it, breathing this kind of incense. You see one who is taller than the other giant, but slender. Thin for a giant. Female. Her hair almost blue and white, like a cloud, as it kind of drifts. Her skin, a hinge of kind of blue and white as well, that matches the hair. It almost just looks like her skin's kind of flowing off of her, the way her hair kind of drifts off. It's fluffy as it kind of bounces down. You'd see on the front of it ice-like braids that kind of hold it back and together. Her clothing is kind of more robe-like and rolled up sleeves. But you can see underneath it that there's armor. Almost like a leathery armor that's kind of been pieced together of loads of cattle and like sheep and wool kind of built together. And around her neck glows a small circular kind of medallion. And it has one of the giant runes that you don't recognize on its skull. And a gem is implanted in the middle. Next to her sat broader, thicker, almost dwarven-like in his kind of stature. A stockier but still a giant. Is a frost giant. Frosted beard. You know the other one to be a cloud giant, by the way. Frosted beard with kind of ice just built into it as well. And you'd see kind of a stronger kind of metallic armor all down one side, one large pauldron, the other side kind of clear. A great big war axe behind it with kind of a tinge of blue on it as well. And again, around the neck, but this time no rune, just the gem embedded into the necklace. The cloud giant kind of leans forward. In front of them, on the ground, is a pool of kind of see-through crystal water. And the fish in there are large, but almost tropical, like koi, full of different colors. And they look down at it. One of them dips their hand in and then wipes the water over their face and stands, lifts up a bit of dried meat from this kind of container next to her. That's enough. And who are you to be entering into our cave?
Skull he'll go down to one knee and bow his head. I am Skull, servant of Krognar the Black Hammer, Forge Master.
Are they speaking giant or common?
They would be speaking giant, actually, currently, yeah.
Okay.
Because they see the Krugven. She eyes the group and then turns to common.
And these are your companions.
He'll nod.
You have come seeking the wisest of giants here in Wolfgard. What aid do you require us, and what gift have you brought?
Magnathor has awoken.
You see the Frostwind kind of tense up.
In search of my lord, I stumbled upon this. And we have been working against him since.
This is troubling news. Magnathor brings death, and mostly to us giants, as we get caught in the way. Your giant, where is he?
I cannot find him. I understand that you are a wise one short also.
Yes. One of our three, Drohild, left with his Krugven many months ago when he heard the calling.
She picks up her incense and then breathes it in deep again and places it back down. You'd remember the name Drohild. That's the fire giant you met in the tunnels of the Kruthic. The one you killed. The one that gave you the giant belt.
The belt?
Skull will remove the belt and hold it up for them to see.
The frost giant kind of stands up now and they both stare at the belt and then look at you.
Where did you get this?
Dwarven citadel, overrun by Kruthic hive. I found him clinging to life. I slew the beast and laid him to rest.
Drohild is dead.
His Krigven had forsaken him. Uven. Traitor. He follows Magnathor.
Then the Krugven might soon too. That belt, you stole it from his body.
A gift.
He gave you that belt.
Yes. I swore to avenge and slay Uven.
The frost giant steps up and walks over to one side and pulls back over like a barrel of almost like a kind of a like a wheelbarrow to him. It is like a kind of a carriage, an open top carriage, and it's full of furniture, and begins placing down small seats on the other side of the pool.
Oh, like guest furniture.
Like a doll's house.
Yeah, almost, yeah. To them it's almost like that, yeah.
Toys.
And then pushes it back and she gestures to sit.
Sit. He'll say to the group.
Yeah,
And
that's it.
Yeah.
he will produce the potion of Cloud Giant. And will hold it up to the Cloud Giant.
I taught only one Krigven how to make these. What you say is true. Keep it. It is yours.
I'm nodding. Put it away.
I don't think you know what being gifted that by Drohild means. Drohild had a lot of sway over the Krigven, related back to the fire giants. During the war, real people were given sentience and aided us against the humans. The first of the Krigven, the mightiest of them, was given a belt. It marked him as king. Drohild wished to crown a new king. He was going to make his Krigven the leader of all of the Krigven. Unite their people so they are no longer servants, so they can serve themselves. If he has gifted this to you, you can claim a crown over all of the Krigven.
This is a great honor. Is it to your benefit?
We live simple lives up here, mostly only visited by giants who travel far. Uven, as you call him, previously Hog. He was related, a distant relative to your former king. But if he is traitor, he should not have that seat. If it is to your benefit, then you have a stake to claim.
I wish to see my lord and the giants home. If this will help me achieve that goal, I will accept.
You have to convince them. But with that, you just might be able to.
A nod.
She sits down.
What do you know of the giant calling? Do you have any direction?
No. I've simply wandered.
We are clueless for the most part ourselves, but we do know something.
She lifts the necklace around her neck, places it back down.
Much of our intelligence comes from these gems, founded long ago. We do not come from the time of Magnathor. We are younger. However, Drohild had a certain amount of intelligence to him. He could resist the call. He told us that his brothers could not. It is mostly fire giants that have received this call. We told him to resist it then. We would study it, and he said he did not want to. They are being called home. To Volcaria. It blinds you. Teaches you how to get into Volcaria when you hear the calling. It is the only way in and we do not know it. But it might give you structure. The Volcarians of old were fire giants.
Timothy, for you to hear that. No one knew the Volcarians were giants. That means the gods are all giants.
Oh.
It's not common knowledge.
If your giant has heard the calling, then that is where he'll be.
He spoke with me. He bade me not to follow. It was uncharacteristic.
They are not of the same mind right now. for them to be led into Valkyria, they not be of their mind. Trohild could resist. But the way in is so secretive that all mortals should not know it, and all beings adjacent to.
And Magnathor?
I believe he is a cloud giant. You would not have heard the calling. It does not mean you cannot find it. Find the calling, and you'll find your way into Valkyria.
He'll lower his head.
I assume this whole conversation was in Giant, right?
No, she switched to common.
No, she switched to common. Okay. Hi.
I had just drifted to look to you.
Sorry. Do you know why, like, what did Magnathor do to become imprisoned by Mythos? Do you know? Like, what does he want?
Much of that time is lost. What we do know is that Magnathor wishes to take over. Back then he fought the dragons. Back then he slew the dragons. He was an enemy to them. And many saw him as a hero to the people, for the dragons were tyrants of our land. However, he began to bring a following with him. Much is lost, though. We do not contain that information, though we have studied it. But few know of any of that. Are your bodies hungry? We can feed you. We are about to prepare a meal. If you eat human, that is.
Wait, what?
We have been straining a couple of humans that tried to break in recently. You see as the frost giant walks over to one side and kind of opens up this doorway to a side room. And in the lit up room of just kind of, it's almost like a stored heat geyser room. So a lot of steam kind of comes out. You can hear, "There you are. Let us go already." "Yes, brother. Brother and I." And hanging upside down are Tyrus and Tyra. Their faces reddened from the heat of this sauna-like room, tied up to the ceiling.
Hey, guys!
We know them. I say to the giant.
They are thieves.
What did they take?
One of our sheep. But Fiel hunted them down, knocked them both out, and dragged them back here. We don't usually partake in human, but thief we can eat. They like swinging like that. I'm very dizzy, but if you cut us down, we can have a fair fight.
I have no objections to eating them.
Man, that's cold.
Did they see us / recognize us?
They're a little bit dizzy right now, and they're kind of looking
Sure.
through the steam, so they don't really see. They're not
Yeah.
expecting you guys to be there.
Okay. I mean, that's fair, but I don't think we were expecting to see them. Okay. If I'm gonna look at, I think Scold said he's fine with it, so I'm gonna look at kind of Timmy and Basil.
We can't let them eat them.
The goods of the group.
Skull's just not willing to defy the giants in front of him.
Sure. It's pretty terrible that they stole one of your sheep. What if we paid you for the sheep? Would you maybe not eat them? Or at least fight them?
We've no
Give him
interest
a-
in fighting them. Fiel already beat them both on his own.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fair enough.
Yeah. You already know
And
you
very
won.
unsurprising.
Yeah.
But we do not need material gain in terms of commerce. Is there anything else you might offer? We'd be willing to trade for their lives if you cared about these two.
It's kind of a strong way to phrase it, but let me just look in my bag.
Do you guys want a stinky bag with a god in it?
you see the first one speak for the first time. Go on.
It's oh hell yeah! All right, listen up. So, found a bag of holding. It stank a little bit, right? And we think that maybe, we don't know why, but we think that maybe there's a bag man that's like turned into a god that was hanging out in there and might come back. Who knows? They're just holding on to it just in case. Do you want to smell it? It smells terrible. She'll hold it up.
This milk is spoiled.
It pushes its hand, just pushing the bag away, and brings the incense back to its nose to smell it, and then places it back down. I'm good.
Okay, it was worth a shot.
You'd hear during this all as well. You'd hear like the distant, just kind of calls and like of the rock from up above, and you just hear it because it echoes down through a like a tunnel off to your left as well. You can hear as it kind of ripples down. They look up. When they hear that, they both put their hands into the water and produce one of the tropical fish. And place it back without chewing and just swallow it. Yeah.
Cool bird.
You want to save these idiots?
I do.
I used the best thing I got.
What if we reallocated their punishment?
We got? It was that flask that made things hot and cold. We got that.
I also have above board. I'm gonna say this. I still have the weird orb of blood from the Fomorian, which is like a shitty giant. If they could do like magic and shit, maybe they want that. But also, they might be super insulted that I'm carrying a blood orb around. So maybe I don't want to bring it up.
I don't
I
know.
don't know what it does. Maybe they can make a baby giant. I don't know. We just know that we shouldn't eat it. That's what.
Do we still have the traveler's flask?
Do you?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the flask that was like hot in one end and cold in the other.
I think we still have. Timmy has that, right? I think.
Do I have that?
I thought you
It's
did.
in my list,
Yeah, I don't have it.
so I think I have it. I don't remember ever taking it, but it's in my list.
Give me that
Well,
flask.
maybe you put it in the bag of holding.
here.
The blame for these humans falls to us, for they came to this land on our boat. Accept this gift, and allow me to hunt for your meal tonight. They will taste bad. Believe me.
What a persuasion check with advantage.
They're really wiry.
Okay. Wait, persuasion, right?
Yeah,
That's
persuasion.
perception. Yeah.
Oh, I was like, yes. Damn it.
Nat 20.
Minus one.
That's right.
Yes. Oh my god.
They reach down, take the flask. The cloud giant casts Identify on it. Let's cross it. Ah. This is a worthy gift for a couple of simpletons. Accept it. Places it down. And then you see the flesh and go. Stands up, walks into the other room, gets a giant cleaver out, just cuts the ropes, and they fall to the ground. He freed you. But if you try anything with us, we'll kill you this time.
Skull will immediately turn to leave and go hunt like he said he would.
Mm-hmm. Fjell would nod to you and go,
I'll come too.
He grabs his hunting supplies and comes out with you. As he goes
Fabio.
out hunting. Yep.
Sorry.
There you go.
I was gonna say Fabio will go squat next to Tyrus and Tyra and be like, "Hey, buddies,
They get up as the frost giant kind of moves through.
how you feeling?"
You would walk over as
My
well.
head. Wait. Brother, you see who this is? Oh
You're
no.
welcome.
What do you mean? Oh no, they were
You're
gonna fucking eat you. We just
welcome.
saved your goddamn lives.
We had
Don't
the
no
plan.
this bitch.
We hit the
You had a
plan.
plan.
To get eaten? 'Cause
Your
they were
plan
going
was to
Sister-
get them to
well.
fight
see, is
you
the sister
because they
kind of-
were not interested.
You see as the sister kind of unravels her top and just kind of shows down the side, and almost caked into the skin is the same spicy sap that you guys had. She goes, It had been too hot for them, and as they spit me out, I run.
No, they were gonna cook you. Okay.
The brother nods.
I think it was
No.
gonna melt off, dude. I
Yeah.
don't think they were gonna raw dog it. I think they were gonna like cook you.
They had scraped that off.
Well, I had the plan as well.
What was your plan?
He reaches into his pocket.
After she fucks up and gets eaten, your plan comes into effect. What's
What?
that one?
She only had enough for herself, so she would have got away with that, but I would have been stuck.
He shows a spoon that he sharpened, but it's only a small spoon.
Did you guys see how big they are?
Yes, I estimated around 120 steps.
So your plan was you try to eat me,
Stab
Uno
them.
reverse, I eat you.
Pig.
I wouldn't eat them afterwards. I was just going to stab them 120 times each.
They
It's really
said that
They're big. It's really
We-
little.
120.
we suggested that maybe they, would let you down and you could fight, right, to be free. And they were like, we already beat them really easily.
That's not true.
So-
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
true.
they said they didn't even have to fight you. They're
They said
bears.
one of
One
them
of
beat you
them.
both.
No,
Yeah.
Just
wasn't
the
one
bear.
of them.
One.
Yeah.
your friend.
That's
Skull.
What? It
not
wasn't-
the same bear. Not
it
even the
wasn't
same
with us.
color.
Yeah. Hey, you guys are welcome.
Yeah, you're
Hanging out
welcome.
Do not fuck this up.
So we're going to kill them?
No.
No. We're vibing, guys. You gotta vibe just for now.
Just chill a little bit
Yes.
for once in your lives.
We are lucky we do not have our strength. Otherwise, we could do it.
We all are.
Yes.
We are very lucky.
Well, we'll watch for now. Keep your back safe.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
I've missed you, idiots. And she'll ruffle their hair.
You guys sit up on your own. Are you okay? Do you want to
We're
sit
fine,
down?
but we'd like to sit down. Yes.
Let's go sit down.
They walk into the room. They kind of take their seats and they sit on them. Just kind of fold their arms both at the same time, just staring at the giants.
So dumb. I
And the
love
giants
them.
kind of just look across you. Outside, meanwhile, you and Fiel have kind of headed out into the woodlands to hunt. Go ahead and roll survival checks with advantage. I'll roll for him as well. You got a 19. Yeah, but
16.
the 19 and 16, you'd easily kind of, like, together, you would kind of dash and like head into the woodlands itself and like use some of the cover of the snow. And you'd see Fiel burst out and scares the kind of deer and this like large elk towards you, so you can easily just kind of catch them and grab hold of them there, claw them and whatnot. And he kind of almost lures them. You can see he's used to kind of herding the sheep and whatnot. He kind of herds anything towards you. You manage to catch a couple of deer and an elk. Big hunt with the two of you. He lifts
One on
the
each
elk
shoulder.
over his shoulder and lets you have the two deer.
walks alongside you. So, you're trying to hurt the calling then?
Yeah,
You're trying to find him?
I will find him.
And you know Hawg? Referring to the Uven.
I've seen his face. That's enough.
He was like a brother to me. We drank
He let.
on his goodbye. Didn't wake up for nearly a full day. We drank that much.
I don't know what made his loyalty falter, but he left his lord in chains, powerless to the Krothic. It was unforgivable.
Drohild was unlike other fire giants. His temper was not wrathful. The necklace tamed him a little bit. He was kind to us, but mostly kind to Hawk. He worked tirelessly on that belt. If he did that to Drohild, then bring whatever wrath you can upon him. And if what they say is true, I'll call you my king.
One thing at a time.
One thing at a time. Eventually, you'd see as the two Krigven walk up and enter into the cave. So you sit around
Shin.
there. Yep.
When we found Drohild
Mhm.
in Anharol, he gave Skold his belt,
Yes.
and we searched around. We didn't find a necklace with a gem on it, right?
No.
Okay. When we saw Magnathor in the tomb, was he wearing a necklace with a gem on it?
He wasn't. He was mostly nude at the time.
Okay.
But then we just rescued him.
I averted my eyes. That's inappropriate.
Yeah.
Didn't
He's wearing a loincloth. So.
Well, in that case.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, that I looked. Okay.
So you see them kind of walk in, enter into it. Fia would lead you kind of side room where there's like a full chopping table and whatnot. Built for your size. If anything, like it's a little bit too big, but you're kind of familiar with that being back home, serving your giant. It's kind of
just get to work.
Yeah.
Second nature, really. Preparing the food.
So you kind of sat around. They pass around the incense in case any of you want to breathe it in.
Bobby will.
Yeah, I'll try it. Sure.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Go ahead and
God.
do Constitution saving throws.
All right.
Sure.
I'm gonna wait until after she does to try.
Okay, yeah.
I gotta watch
25.
first.
Okay, 25. Nice. Fia, you've probably with the 25 Fia, you've probably been around certain kind of narcotics over in Pennytown. You've had your fair share of trippy substances, and this one's quite strong. It's built to kind of send giants into a little bit of a loopy despair, but you can imagine hold back. You feel a little bit kind of calmer. You feel your body just kind of relax and tingle.
She doesn't
Fabia.
know what calm feels like, so she's like, "The fuck."
Fabia.
Fabia's like, what are y'all looking at?
Yeah.
You guys looking at me? What are you looking at me for? I'm not doing anything weird.
Having kind of grown up in quite a nice little society and always like trying to live life to the full, you've never tried anything quite like this, and it fucked you up. You are seeing shapes around. You like occasionally will just see like Yule just pop her head up. She looks like a Largo, and you're kind of like you're just seeing different weird things. Taurus and Tyra.
Do I look weird? Am I acting weird? I'm just gonna sit.
Yeah.
Is this natural? Does this look right?
You feel comfortable sitting like that?
Yeah, this is how I always sit, Fia.
If you feel comfortable, definitely just keep sitting like that.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna just sit like this.
Do you wanna?
I can't remember what Scold looks like. What color is he?
He's right here. He's white. You're fine. Everything's. I'm not
bad. I'm not bad. That's
no, but now you see him, and you don't know what white is, and now you're confused because he's just changing colors constantly, just staring at you.
I'm gonna get the the warm cloak blanket that Fabia gave, like that the little kid had, right? Even though she's not attuned to it, I'm gonna get that from Basil and like try to put it around Fabia to like give her like some
Thanks, I don't need it.
Why is
I'm like a calm weighted blanket. Yeah.
While this is happening, you'd see the skull shape in front of you has kind of said the line for changing into his like larger size, but he just doesn't stop growing, and he's just expanding in the room, getting bigger, and just like slowly suffocating the room. Just the body becoming tiny.
Skulls.
You'd see Timothy as Tyrus leans into you and goes, "They've cursed her."
Fucking dummies.
No, I just think she had something. It's sort of like a drink that you breathe. Have you ever smoked a pipe before?
I do not do that.
Why?
My mind is my own. I don't want to know in my thoughts. You should remove the curse from her.
That's understandable. I go. I touch Fabia and just say some nonsense. Looking over.
Poor Fabia.
I've healed her.
I've always felt like you and I weren't that close, but I think you're maybe my best friend. She just starts sobbing.
I'm gonna look at the giant. Wait, did we ask the giants their names yet?
No, you didn't.
Okay, so first I'm gonna say, how long will this last? Also, hi, I'm Fia. What's your name?
Well, we have not given it out to someone so small before, but for a giant it usually lasts 2, maybe 3 hours. So
It's gonna last forever.
perhaps longer, perhaps just as long, but a more intense reaction. And I am Nimbra.
I'm good now. You know, I think maybe we all need to just chill out, you know? Stop crying all the time.
Yeah.
What is everybody crying for, you know?
If this is a narcotic, does it count as poison?
Technically, yeah. Sure.
So I want to take a puff, but I'll have advantage on the con save.
Okay, yeah, nice.
I'll take a real deep breath. Seeing Fabia like this. 24. Oh
my god, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, it feels good, feels tingly, but come on, Fabia. This is an intense reaction.
Give to me.
You breathe in, you're fine. You'd see kind of soon after as Scold and Fiel are kind of prepared the meat, they've got it all, and start kind of bringing it out on kind of larger leaves, kind of almost like these pine wood kind of boards that they're kind of bringing it out on. Start placing it down. Some's cooked, some's raw. Whatever your preference. No vegetables among any of it.
Fine. She eats it.
Okay.
It's all stardust anyway, man. So, fuck it, you know? In the end, we're all gonna be dust.
Tyra's just gonna sat looking at you like... And he just pushes the meat away from her, not trusting anything. But Tyrus is actually just got his spoon deck and he's like stabs it a couple of times and then kind of just lifts and starts biting it. The other giant, by the way, says,
My name is Storgard.
Okay.
So Nimbra and Storgard.
Thanks.
Pretty names.
I guess while we're eating, I would ask them, so if the giants are being called to Volcaria, and then when they get the call, they'll know the way in, like, they're gonna be a fight at Volcaria?
We're too young to know. Volcaria is not open to our kind.
We sailed by a little while. Time is meaningless. I don't know. A while ago. How long? Weeks? A few?
Yeah,
month?
weeks. It's probably over a month now. Over a month.
Yeah, right. We were there about a month
no, it'd be
ago.
much longer because you guys, the clown circus.
Oh shit! Yeah, because that
that's
was a month
right.
for the circus. It'd be like 2 months ish. Yeah. So on our way to Wolfgard, we sailed past Volcaria, and we saw people. We saw like an image of like people on the shores and stuff, and everyone wanted to sail closer. And then we got closer, and a dragon landed on our ship. And if the giants and the dragons didn't really get along, and there's dragons there, and she was pretty clear that they were not going to let anyone in, and like that seems like it might be bad, right? For the giants or for the dragons, maybe bad for someone.
It's not the first time that giants and dragons have fought. And Magnathor was known as Volrend for a reason. It means giant killer, or worm killer. Perhaps you're right. Perhaps they will fight, but the fire giants returning home is something still mysterious to us. Your people serve the giants as gods, yet you pushed us near to the brink of extinction. There's an irony there, but it comes with a lack of knowledge as well. Most of the giants that would have known anything did not have a chance to fight any of it down. And she looks towards Skull. Some of what we know is recorded in runes. Looks down at Krigmiti, the belt, and goes, You have not yet collected the cloud rune.
No. You are the first.
The runes are lost to most giants. To see already a few of them on your belt is reassuring. It means the old words have not been lost. But I know the cloud rune. And I can teach you it.
I would be honored.
Sam's frozen again.
And I am frozen.
I am very cold, suddenly.
Stolgard, unfreeze him.
Teach him that rune.
Shall eat, and tonight shall teach you it.
Begin sharing out the food, eating, and kind of taking your moments yourselves. During the night, Stolgard kind of sits behind you, beside you, Timothy. Kind of walks in front of where Tyrus is. Goes, and Tyrus gets up and he kind of stubbornly walks and sits elsewhere. He pushes the chair aside and sits down beside you and looks at you.
We don't see many dwarves.
Up here or in general?
Up here, but this is all we know up now.
We're not really known for going high up, more deep in the ground. You know?
Yes. Tell me. The dwarves you serve, the old gods. Well, the gods that you know. Do you serve one?
Do they, or is it just people? Of,
People do. Dwarves are kind of have some of the most religious societies towards the Godforged, usually. But people in general mostly do nowadays. They don't know that as much because they don't really get out much.
Okay. I mean, most of us serve something or someone in these days.
It's become more widespread then.
Yes. Mostly because it gives them faith, you know?
Yes. Good to know. We spend most of our time in this mountain and don't leave it much. We mostly learn whatever we can through Akthaliok, the rock up ahead. We are bound to it, and it is bound to us. We serve it. Sometimes will be brought things far, far away, straight to our doors. Objects unknown to us, new designs of ships, means of transport, and creatures we've never seen. But every now and then, we see something dwarvish and we know. Despite how many centuries go by with your culture, there's always a similarity in the design. I've always had a fondness for dwarves. Is that your creation?
One to Aaron.
Oh, he actually found me.
Drohild designed some immense things. You would have loved to see that.
Does he look like the automatons we found, like the same design?
Similar design. It's like a prototype design.
Yeah. I just want to know if they were like the same
Kind
type
of
or
like,
if they changed
yeah.
much.
The newer ones became far more broader and more like warrior-like, whereas this is kind of a slender design, like trying something out.
Okay.
He stands up and walks back to his chair. The night goes on a little bit, and
Oh God.
Yes?
Do you know of a giant named Ol?
Name what?
Ol. He would have been sickly.
Yes.
Yes.
Weakened. We told him to find a quiet place to die. Nothing we could do for him.
He is well.
He survived it.
Reborn in undeath. But strong. Kept his mind.
There was much undeath in Wolfguard. We have heard of it, rarely seen it. You believe this to be honorable?
He protects the living.
Perhaps we were wrong. If you see him again, send our blessing.
I
He is
will.
capable of. Perhaps we can find him home in giant society again. As long as the pox is gone.
he kind of sits and goes and kind of like starts formulating his thoughts on that. It's not often that they're wrong.
At some point, I think Fia would want to ask, probably Nimbra. So, do giants and dragons just like hate each other? Has that always been a thing?
No, not necessarily. When the dragons, the Chromatic Empire, began to form, they dominated all races, all species here in the land. Few of them stood up against them. Some eventually fought together. Mortals and elves, and built a coalition of sorts and fought back against the dragon oppressors. But the giants were the only ones to slay a dragon. One of the ancient dragons, that is. One of the generals. It was Magnathor that did it. A white dragon that I forget the name. But a mighty beast. It was sent to conquer Fjordhelm. And when it arrived, Magnathor drove a spear through its heart. As though the stories go. A great fight. One dragon, one giant. For that, many of the other giants rose up in rebellion. Some followed Magnathor. Much of the story is lost to nuance and mythos, but what is true is that the giants were the greatest thorn in the side of the dragons during that war. Without us, many of the mortals would have fallen before they could have ever come together. We do not hate each other, but we both can fight.
If the fire giants, like if their kind of home is Valkyria, do you have somewhere else that's your home, or do the other types of giants
Now you
each
go
have
back.
their own places?
You go all the way back to the founding. It depends on tale to tale. A lot of giant scripture has been lost in time, so what we know is pieced together from runes. But the belief that many of us have, that we all converged and found the land of Elreath, as you know it. Some of us descended from the sky. Others walked from frozen mountains. The fire giants from the center of a volcano. Some from stone, some born of hail. But all of us founded Velreath together. If the cloud giants had a home, it would probably be atop mountains, or in a city I've never seen. But the fire giants were a lot more solitary than us. It took a longer time to join with us, and wars of old against Valkyria were between giant and giant. It wasn't until they built that forge that they ever stood a chance against us. And then a peace was made.
Thanks.
That's all I know. Unlike your people, we don't have the luxury of keeping our history intact. A lot of what we have to do is interpretation.
Okay. This is sort of rude, but I swear I don't mean it as rude. But it might still be a little bit rude. You said that you're younger than Magnathor, but like, how old are you? Like, do you know about like the drought? Like, if you can do, like, were you okay during the drought?
What do you mean by the drought?
Like,
I'm 400.
like magic just stopped,
Oh,
and then it got
Yes.
turned back on.
we called it the loss.
Oh,
We lost access to most magic, but runes are different. They are... You empower an object, and it sustains magic for a long period of time. The giants have many runes of power. There are only a few that are truly powerful. we had many of these runes and used them as a backup.
We think that do you know what the Godforged is? Like, do you know what it like? Well, it makes it forges gods, right? We know that part, but like, do you know what all it does? Because we think that that's why magic got turned off and then got turned back on, but we're not really sure. I don't know. I have a lot of notes. I'm gonna like point to like my bag, but I haven't really figured it out.
Scott will be shaking his head like this behind her.
Be like,
You can see
That's-
Stolgard looks at you and goes,
yeah.
Nimble likes this stuff. I prefer the simpler questions and the simpler visitors. She looks and kind of folds her arms to you. And, we have theories, but it takes an immense amount of power to forge a god. If the Godforged was to be turned to absorb power, it must come from somewhere. We theorized that during loss or the drought, someone was being forged.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that we don't know who it is though, right? Or like we haven't seen a new god.
It has only been 2 decades since magic came back.
Wouldn't they come out like full of godness or something? I mean, I don't know.
What is time to a god?
Okay.
Nimra,
Scold.
the amulet you wear,
Yes.
Drahild made only 3,
Only 3. For each of us.
and they are the same.
They are the same. They make us... They cause us to be a lot more aware of information. Though I was
Drahild
clever.
did not have an amulet.
Likely it was stolen. Once you have obtained such intelligence, it's hard to give it up again.
Here, you have that thing to find things, right?
Oh, yeah, the compass. Pulls it out of bag.
If the amulets are the same, maybe we can find it.
Yeah. Right? Can I just look? Can I look at it? I don't want to touch it. I don't want to. Can I just see what it looks like?
You
Because
can
then I
come
can.
closer.
Okay. I'm gonna take a non-creepy hard look
sure.
at it. It's creepy. I'm gonna like try to remember what it looks like, and then I'm gonna write it down.
Beyond kind of like a metallic substance that holds in the gem, like that and the necklace portion of it aren't that special. Nicely designed, but doesn't look like innately magical. The actual gem itself seems to be almost like an amethyst that's been reforged and imbued with magic. You can see almost like slight runes floating around inside of it that remind you of Skold's runes. They're not the same ones, but they remind you of them. And they kind of glisten and like fade, almost like appearing before kind of dispersing, like it's in water on the inside, like a liquid moving around. It seems to be, like an amulet of intelligence of some kind.
Okay.
Bobby is asleep.
Okay. It's 4:00 in the afternoon.
She's drugged out.
She's like,
She
all
went through many
fluid all over the
emotions and now she's asleep.
Tyrus and Tyra are probably sleeping nearby as well. They're wrapping up nearby because they also...
clutching the spoon ship.
Yeah. He's like, he'd be slowly in his sleep, just like jabbing his own arm by accident. Not realizing.
He's so dumb. It does fit.
Yeah. So you get the design.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna write it down in my notes.
Nimbra is gonna look across the Scold as the evening starts to come in. It is time. And walks to one side of the cave where you have some privacy.
Okay. Follow.
Most cloud giants are deceptive, clever-tongued. Though not always intelligent, they know how to get themselves out of a situation or into one. But not just of voice, but of pattern as well. Invoke this rune, and you can trick someone into attacking their closest friend, an ally.
Ooh.
It will also help you. Like the clouds dispersing, it might point you in a certain direction when tricking others. I rarely get to invoke it, but I enjoy it when I do.
She takes off the necklace, places it down, and begins invoking it by saying, Sky. You see it kind of light up. The word now kind of known to you. You see, as the word almost kind of comes out into the forefront of you, and you see clouds forming, but building out of the words. For the rest of you, you don't see any of this. For Scold, your eyes almost just kind of catching the rhythm of it. You just start seeing the pattern of the rune forming in front of you. Suddenly, the rune that was on her necklace becoming intricate in ways that you couldn't really possibly imagine before. As a cloud breathe into you. And almost like forgetting a letter and now remembering it. It's like it was always there. You now know the cloud rune. She teaches you over the course of the next 15 or so minutes. And absorb into you. She nods her head to you.
It is a rare gift to know so many of the runes. The giants respect you.
I will continue to learn.
Know this. Drohild gave you that belt. Perhaps he saw something in you that I also do. But if you do not wish to be king, you do not have to be.
He nods.
Such an honor is only an honor if you deem it to be one. Perhaps your people are happier serving. But at
I
least
have
you
a
get to
warning
decide.
for you too, my lady. We defeated one of his generals, a chronomancer. And therein we were presented with visions of past and present and future. This potion,
He'll produce the cloud potion.
I believe it was from a future that I have not yet seen. And I know what is required to create this potion. He may come for you.
Will be prepared. But I'll be honest. I feel some safety knowing that you, Skull, and companions will be going for them first.
They are not Craigven, but they're strong.
Fabius snores.
I will kill Haug.
And when you do,
I will avenge Drohild.
come, I have a gift for you.
She walks over towards the pool and dips in and grabs one of the fish and hands it to you.
To gain the favor of a rock takes a while. Give this to the rock, and it will be the first step towards a friendship. Eventually. If Ecthalic accepts you. There was a time where giants rolled rocks. Hands the fish out to you.
I'm gonna have to climb up there, right?
Yeah.
Gold gets
All
a
right.
pet.
He'll nod and go to climb up there.
What time of day is it?
It's evening now.
Okay.
Can't believe Scold is about to unlock fast travel for us.
Right.
Tight.
You go into. You're going to climb from the outside or inside? Because they've got like a cave, almost kind of wall that you can climb up to get to the interior of it.
I'll do it in view of her. Yeah, I'll do it inside.
Go ahead and roll an athletics check.
Okay. I'm gonna use Giant's Might for this as well.
Okay.
$24.
Growing larger. Your hands just start gripping hold of them. You feel kind of familiar, like handles that almost like were built for giants and like are just far enough. And you begin climbing up. And she watches all the way up until you disappear. It's almost like a tunnel shaft as it goes up. And you're climbing for a good 30 minutes before you get to the top. Handholds start to end. Your arms a little bit achy from the climb.
My Giant's Might only lasts for 2 minutes. 4 tops if I use both.
It's okay. You'd be, do you know what? Let's say.
Can
in
I
the instance of the
telekinesis
cave.
him up?
No,
I use it till I'm out of view.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
That's cool. Yeah, that's
All
fine.
right.
And maybe the incense in this cave right now is kind of keeping you in the form for a little longer, and like the almost like
true. Yeah.
the adrenaline of the rune. Why not? It's cooler that way, right? The adrenaline of learning the
it's
rune is
cooler.
kind of. And you
I'm pumped
climb.
up.
And on an open kind of outlook, on the inside, kind of loads of bones from various things. You see like ships from places you've never been before, from all different lands and places. You find just kind of a collection of goods in the corner. And on a giant nest built out of like the tops of pines and all sorts of branches and trees kind of just built together, you see a huge, if not gargantuan, creature. A great white rock, kind of curled up, and its eyes open and looks straight towards you as you climb to the top. You hear the wind blowing outside, starlit sky, and the rock stares right at you and raises its head defensively. Just kind of watches you for a moment.
Gold will just start slowly walking towards it. No sudden movements, but he won't stop. And he'll say out loud, I am Scold. Krigven. Servant of the Black Hammer.
Tilts his head. And in giant, Scold. And why have you climbed to my roost?
To seek your favor.
What
He'll
gift?
hold the fish out.
Its eyes dart to it. And they're only small, it bows its head. And gently, you see as it kind of leans across and just a slight bit of its beak goes underneath and gently takes it off of you. It looks tiny. And it swallows it back. You saw just the immense size of it. Its head, kind of its beak. You're like as large as like the bottom end of its beak. And it pulls back slightly. To be given one of the fish means you have earned the trust of the giants below. And therefore, you are not an enemy. Now you're up close, you can see Ecthalic is like this beautiful white, but also you would see like across various
portions of the body, you can see kind of like lightning burns and frost kind of scars across it as well. It looks like it's been in fights with creatures with great big claws that have kind of hacked into it. It's got scars of old where feathers haven't grown back. It looks battle worn. An old creature.
You are a warrior.
There was a time when I was rode into battle against dragons. I haven't fought in a long, long time.
Some things we do not forget.
Some things we will not forget. We choose not to. You are a warrior as well.
Proudly.
Do you seek my aid?
Only if you would lend it.
Who are your enemies?
Magnathor. And his kin.
You see it kind of rise up. Kind of stand taller and look kind of more impressive and kind of dominating over you.
You seek to kill Magnathor.
I seek to save the giants. Maybe see if he can bleed.
I would like to be there when he does. Perhaps when the time comes, Skull. I will heed your call.
I would be honored. Great rock.
It bows its head.
For now,
He'll bow his head back.
how well do you ride?
And it turns and kind of gestures and lowers a wing.
He doesn't really have an answer because he's never written shit.
Gold trying to play it cool all the time.
Yeah.
Okay,
He'll just
okay.
like gingerly approach and climb on.
You feel tiny on the back of this creature. As you just see its wings open up. It's like sitting on the back of like a Boeing 747. Like it's huge. And you grip hold of like the fur and just see it lock its wings up before running. And then dives. You just feel the cold wind burst against you. Your fur just rippling back as you... That kind of familiar sight where you saw the rock back in episode 1 as it was kind of descending. You are now on the back of one as it descends all the way downwards and then flies up. Suddenly you just see land where it took you a full day to pass over. You're passing over it in seconds. Just gliding through the air. The mountain looks small as it goes high up and does a ring around it. It spends the next few minutes just flying around with you on its back, seeing the world from how it sees it. Before it starts slowly gliding back towards, flaps its wings slowly, slows its fall, and lands inside the cave, and lowers a wing for you to climb down. Go ahead and roll. Just do an athletics check to see how kind of well you kind of rode during that, and
Okay.
yeah, just a general athletics check because it comes from an element of just kind of holding on.
Am I giant's might or nah?
You could have saved one for the ride if you like. Yeah, sure. Go have advantage for
Sure.
sure.
Oh my god, dude, one of them was a nat 1. 23.
As Apathetic lowers you off and nods its head and goes,
You rode well.
You fly well. That was high.
That was high.
You remind me of the giants of old. Not the best conversationalists. It wraps up, kind of tucking its wings in. But looks pretty content. We will see each other again, Skull.
I look forward to it.
And then Kim curls and places its head down comfortably.
I'm just gonna.
He like looks back down over the edge. And then begins the slow climb
It
down.
looks at you. And just reaches a talon across you and kind of takes you. And then leaps off and descends all the way down to the ground. And then kind of stops right before there. You see Fiel kind of goes. Kind of bows. And places you down. Now, as it kind of flies up, you nearly kind of get pushed over from the wind. It goes back to its thing.
Thanks.
Fiel looks at you. Is there anything you can't do, brother?
Probably couldn't ride a horse.
And nods and then goes back to looking out. All right. Well, you can go ahead and, with enough notice, know that you can call upon Ekthaliok to aid you in battle. You know of
Let's
rocks.
say I wanted to write his name down. How would I spell it?
Akthaliok. You would know that if you're going to call out to battle, the better the battle, the more likely it is to then serve you. Rocks have a kind of mind of their own. They're very like the eagles in Lord of the Rings. They won't just like, they're not going to sit around like Blossom did and kind of just like be a pet, but they'd be more like, if you're going to war, if you're going into a big fight.
Time.
Yeah, they're going to be mostly independent, so it's not really your mount, but in battle, you know, you can work together. So, yeah,
Okay.
you'd want to impress Ekthaliok in your next time you call him. Skull descends down. Most people are kind of resting. Is there anything else anyone wanted to do in the Giant's Cave for tonight?
Yes, I do have something I would like to do, but also if I saw Scold walk in, I'd be like, "Where'd you go?"
Trying to get some air.
He looks a bit wobbly.
Are you okay?
Yeah, there's a lot of air.
You should try some of that incense. That's
Are you stupid? You know, I'm gonna breathe in a giant's incense.
Why, we're fine. Looks at Timmy.
Fabia at some point dug a hole somewhere and is inside of the hole.
Then you got lucky.
Okay.
You should ask them about the hag. They probably know stuff.
Yeah. I think that was. I got caught up and I kind of forgot. Are they still awake? Just wake them up.
I would say Stilgard's asleep, but Nimbra's kind of being a good host and waiting for everyone to kind of fall asleep before she goes.
I'm gonna sleep.
Okay.
Slaps Fabi on the shoulder.
In her little hole. Okay. Nimbra? I'm sorry. I feel like we're imposing, and now I'm making it weird because I'm going to ask you one more question. So, you know how Scold said that we're trying to find Magnathor, right? And we just killed one of his generals, a wizard. And there's another one here. An Illithid. His name is Uroth. I don't know, maybe that's like part of the story. I don't know. Anyway, we think that he's come this way fairly recently and he's looking for a hag. He's looking for Ungra. Do you know who that is or where she is, or do you have any dealings with her? Is there anything we should know? I think she's kind of mean.
She avoids us.
She's afraid of you?
Not afraid. There was a mutual understanding that if we were to fight, it would be close.
Oh.
If she were to fight both of you, it would be close?
I'm not sure. But we have no interest in fighting a hag. Her business is our own.
Yeah, I don't really have interest in fighting her either. We're just trying to figure out how to get to her mother, Abatha.
I can tell you where Unger is.
Okay,
Anna's
that would be really
hags
helpful.
have a little giant in them. They are the largest of the hags. And they feed off fear. If you follow the mountain wrapping around, you'll come across a cave entrance. It is shaped like a claw. Inside there, things enter. People. And often, they do not exit. And those that do, often exit with less of themselves.
Like physically or like psychically less of themselves?
Both.
Both.
Unger is a cruel beast of a creature. If this is where you must go next, then do so carefully. She will make deals.
Okay.
But
Thanks.
in terms of journey, you'll get there within a couple of hours. Just following the mountain around.
Okay.
Careful on the path there, though. You'll be ascending high above the ground and slipping. But not be a fortuitous thing.
Imagine. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for everything, really.
No,
You're a very gracious host.
we are not usually. Most who come here seek too much, often gifting us too little, or even those who do. Our temperament is different. She looks over to where Skold is resting. Would you travel with one who deserves respect?
You know, he kind of doesn't say a lot. And a lot of the times it seems like he's just sort of tolerating us. I think he kind of likes us. We like him. Don't tell him that.
Grigven can survive on their own. Against most forces of this world, and even the things they cannot survive against, they are often too stubborn to know that. If Skold has you around, it is not because he doesn't want it, but because he does. You are like a pack.
Yeah.
Well, we are blessed to have your leader here. Now rest.
Wait, you refer to me as the leader?
Yeah.
You'll be internally just like. She says thank you.
She steps up and walks over towards a great big kind of woolen pile, like a bed that's been built out of all of the kind of just sheathed sheep outside. Kind of rests and sits down in it. It's almost like, it kind of looks like a cloud itself when she sits into it. Lies back and closes her eyes to rest.
Right before I go to sleep, I'm gonna take tack out.
Okay.
And I'm gonna. I always want to say I'm gonna try to call. I'm gonna try to call.
Yep.
Lieutenant Sada.
Sorry, you've reached the voicemail service.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to send a message to Lieutenant Sada, the younger one, not the the daughter, not the father.
Yeah, I know who you meant. Yep.
Just in case you weren't clear, I just because there's two of them.
You take
with the same
2d6
name.
psychic damage. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna send a message, and I'd like to. I'm gonna use the visual so that I don't have to waste 2 words going it's Fia. Although I guess she would recognize my voice anyway. I think I'll say, hi. I have a question you might be able to help with. I'm looking for Aldior or Amelia Vero. And I don't know where to start. That's it.
Okay. You see her it light up, and you see her kind of the gingery red hair. She blinks a little tired. Emilio Vero is in Southern Wolfguard. She serves the Count, one of the advisors.
Like your dad, the Count?
No,
No, he's not actually a Count. Ironically, he's just a.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
The it's got to be Fairfax, right? The shitty old guy that the vampires went to. Right?
Oh.
Who's the other Count down there? Fuck, I gotta look at my notes. Also, wait, I just dropped my mom's name. Like, hey, have you heard of this lady? She's probably dead. And she's like, oh yeah, she's just, I know her. The fuck? Okay. Okay. I can't respond, so that's it. Thanks.
Okay. You rest up for the night. Wake, I mean, you've been given some like wool and whatnot to lie in. They have plenty of it from the sheep. And you wake up the next morning in the cave, happily. Tyrus and Tyra have kind of been given some of the things back. And you can hear, like, you get woken up to the sound of, like, Fiel going, it was close. It was close. I barely even had to lift a finger. And he kind of hands him across, and they both kind of wander back with their gear on. You see him kind of put his claws back on. Anyway. Everyone's kind of waking up in the morning and whatnot. Nimbus is back with Stolgard by the water. They're both having their morning incense. Spend a lot of time around the pool.
How does Fabio look right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, how am I doing?
I'd say you would have slept it off, but like
Woke up in a hole.
you feel kind of like a little bit like you've just had a kind of a bit of a hard night. Not like hungover, but like a little bit worn out. Almost like the next day after going to the gym for the first time in like a year. Like you just body feels a bit worn from just being so tense all the time.
Yeah.
But you're mostly okay.
Okay. Yeah, you just hear like groaning from under the ground, and then like one paw and another paw. She just lifts herself like, I was in a hole.
Oh, hey. How do you feel?
You guys put me in a hole? That's fucked up.
You dug a hole.
I dug a hole?
You
And then you went in
saw a lot. You had an experience that may have been transcendent for you. I think you forgot what white is.
Would I above board? Is this like
You'd remember a lot of it.
Would I remember this?
Yeah.
Okay.
It like some of it's fleeting, some of the kind of the weird things you saw would be fleeting, but you'd remember most of it, yeah.
Yeah. Some of that was very cool, and some of that was not cool at all. I dug this hole because oh my god.
Wait,
I
why'd you
remember
dig
this
it?
now. It was dark, and I thought that the stars were growing mouths. It's fine. So just crawl out of the hole.
You see Tyrus like look outside at the sky, just kind of like watching for now, like squints at the stars. They do that.
They sure did last night, bud. Hey, I forgot you were here. What's up?
Yes. We've decided.
We have decided that we will rejoin your crew.
No.
Oh, were you
As favor.
invited?
As favor to you, we will rejoin your crew.
Did they
and we will
invite
protect
you?
No.
This is our gift to you.
We're not
God's walking
exactly
over,
fighting
like-
on this trip.
Yeah, do you know what? That is a truly monumentally amazing offer, and
You're welcome.
we cannot accept it. It you know what? It really is a bigger offer than I think what we did. Like, we don't deserve it. And I think you should just,
It's not us. It's you.
What do you mean by that?
You're too weak. God. You need to go get stronger.
We have killed things out here,
like what?
creatures,
Like what kind?
Like what?
a dragon.
A dragon. What color?
Is white.
I'm insight checking that.
How did it attack you?
That's only a 15.
The DC, the DC was a
not
10. He's full of shit. Clearly full of shit. Yep, you can smell lies all through him. You see his sister's also just like, yes.
Yeah, dragon.
We've killed things though. We've killed creatures. We could. What are you doing? We could help you maybe if you want to go.
We have this
Are you guys scared? Are you trying to join us because you're spooked?
We do not get scared.
We do not get spooked.
Okay, I was just curious because you guys seem like you're really jonesing to be with and like I get it. We are comforting as fuck because we're just so strong. So like if it's because you're like nervous to go back out there and maybe get slapped by another bear, I get that. That's.
We could have taken it. We were unprepared by the weather. And also we thought it might have been our friend, Skolv.
Oh,
That's very sweet.
Brother,
That is very
you said
sweet.
that you could take Skull this entire time, and if you saw him, you would.
Sister. It is. Tell you what then.
It's it's just really nice that we parted on such difficult terms, and
Yes.
that you guys missed us so
We
much
did not
this
miss
whole
you.
time.
Very well
No?
then. You will not have received this gift. And instead we shall give you.
He holds out the spoon with the sharpened end.
Nice. I accept.
This is a good
Fabio
gift.
takes
We
it.
like this.
It is also this. On one end you can eat food with it, on the other you can stab.
That's true.
I invented it.
What do you call it?
A spoon knife.
Oh, a spoon knife. I don't know what I expected.
It
Puts
feels
it
like
in a
really
bag of holding.
guardian name.
Wait, the cursed one?
You find out it was the
Yes.
spoon of a lost god.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Puts it into the cursed bag of holding.
This Batman's
He
gonna have
trades
this
the hand
weapon now.
back for it because it's so
Yeah,
special.
he's like, here, take this fucking hand. This spoon knife is amazing. I've never seen this craftsmanship.
That is
Yeah.
from both of us.
Okay.
What are you two gonna do now?
Well, what were you doing before? We're hunting.
Well, not here. You know what happened last time.
Yeah, don't.
We
stay
might
away.
go
You gotta
back
be
to
more
Fjordheim.
careful.
We'll head east. Get a boat, head east. And then go hunting in familiar ground.
If you guys decide to head back towards Tithmore to get a ship
We
to go
won't.
to Fjordhelm, no, you're not gonna
No.
go that way. Okay, never mind.
No, we're going east. We did not
You're
like
just-
this
Okay, great.
more.
Okay. All right. Good luck then.
May our paths cross again.
Yes.
Maybe next time you'll be saving us.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hits
Yeah.
the sister on the shoulder.
We'll
Come
give
on.
you spoon knives.
You know, not likely, but it could happen.
We
Oh my god.
Would have
This
escaped.
knife could be like tag.
Yeah.
Next time you
You
gotta
get it
save
back.
us. And then I'll give you the knife spoon back.
Just a spoon knife.
Spoon knife.
don't be ridiculous.
Spoon knife. A
Like a
noon,
symbol.
if you will.
A what?
A noon.
Did you call me?
A noon.
Call me that again. We'll
And-
have fun.
You're
You
a
see-
noon.
he just stands. I did not hear that.
Are you sure? Because you said to say it one more time and
We
then
need
we
to
would
go.
fight.
And you see Tyra's got a tongue out of her mouth.
To digitate the sound of the word noon in his ear.
Tyra's like stood there next to him. Brother, we should go.
Oh no.
What is wrong?
Did you lick the
My tongue is burning. I need to find some snow. And she begins walking
What'd you
towards the
do?
entrance.
did
What'd
she
she
lick
do?
the
She licked her shoulder.
stuff on her? She
Her
licked the stuff.
shoulder.
The sap stuff,
sap.
the bad tasting
Oh.
like
Never
Bernie.
cleaned it up. She just
Why?
slept with it.
Oh.
It is the third time she's
Anyways.
done it.
At least she knows how to treat it. Hey, I'm feeling more and more like you guys are unkillable, so we'll see you around, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He holds up one
Yeah.
hand. You see he's missing two of his fingers now. Yes. The dragon. And he walks out.
Oh,
Um,
Don't believe you.
Roll a medicine check, Timothy,
back at-
especially.
As a
it's a
15.
frostbite.
It was frostbite. Yeah,
15
it was
already.
frostbite. You saw like the stumps away as frostbite. And he walks out and he slips out into the cave. With Tyra disappearing back into the snowy plains.
Those sweet summer children.
I love it. We've seen so many familiar faces today.
Okay.
Okay. So
They don't go the same path. Like they're not gonna go.
No,
to
they're
the
not. No,
path
they're
that the
definitely not.
hags
No,
are
they're-
going to, right?
they're
Thank
heading
God.
down
Don't go that way.
the other way. They're going back the way you guys came.
that way.
Right.
They are not going to go along the mountainside.
Okay.
So you wake up in the morning. Nimba bows ahead to you. Good luck.
Thanks.
God will just nod.
They go back to breathing in their incense. Is there anything you want to do before you leave?
No. I was
Nope.
frantically searching for one last question just to be funny,
think
but I
so.
couldn't think of anything else to ask.
Fair enough.
Okay, ask them
Uh,
everything.
On your way out, Fia will look to you, Skull, and go. Good luck.
Keep them safe.
Always. Unless you do accept. In which case, I take a lot of honor in guarding them. I'll take an equal amount, if not more.
Scott will interrupt him.
Yeah.
One thing at a time.
One thing at a time.
And he lets you set out on your path.
Right, Fia, where's this hag?
You see as the mountain would wrap round, kind of a pathway, almost like just like a pathway on the side of the mountain. It goes up higher and wraps around it all the way. It's going to be a good 100 feet up in the air, if not higher, as it goes up.
Around and up.
All right.
She's apparently. Oh wait, I want to keep an eye out for any of the people-faced ravens again, just as we go.
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
All right. Oof, only a 10.
I'd say this one's pretty obvious though, as you're closing in, and there's not exactly many places to perch. Right on top of the building where Fiel was the first time when you came in, you just see one of them staring at you. You'd have to walk past that building to get round onto the mountainside anyway.
I'm
Just sit
gonna
watching you.
I'll look back and I'll just kind of nod and keep going.
The pathway here, unlike the 30 feet of one you had before when you were first getting up towards the giant, starts to get thinner. You can walk in a single file on it. It's about 5 foot stretched out, if that. Gets tighter at certain points. It's like wrapping around. It's kind of like this in the moment where the Fellowship had to go on the icy mountains, but not quite as much frost.
That's what I was just thinking.
Yeah. Not as quite as much frost, but you're walking around that mountain, heading onwards towards the hag. As the mountains continue to wrap all the way around, you see as it starts to get thinner. Can I please get a d20 roll to see what the weather effects would be like today? You traveling this dangerous path.
Yep, Sam and I already did them.
My d20s have been consumed, dude. I've hit 5.
That's true, you have done.
A 16.
My entire play today is either I roll a 1 or a 20.
A slight amount of snow is drizzling. A lot of it's caught up by the lips of the mountains above you. And it's coming from the opposite side of the mountain, luckily. Probably heavier snow over there. It's decent enough weather to travel this path. And you're very lucky it's not another blizzard. You manage to walk around the kind of wider sections. When it starts to get only a couple of feet wide, and you have to start shimmering across, only one section of it is like that, after about an hour of walking. You're high above the ground, a couple 100 feet, probably about 300-400 feet actually at this point. This is about a 40 feet kind of path of only a foot or two wide where you have to shimmer. How would you like to get across it?
How wide? Sorry.
Only about 1.5 feet, probably.
Okay.
So basically the mountain's kind of dipped in the pathway. Goes along around. But you're going to have to shimmy across this. You can just go for a straight shimmy and we'll just do a some acrobatics checks.
Sorry, we were talking strats. This is a bridge.
Sorry.
It's not really a bridge. It's basically a lip on a mountain. But now it's gone really thin for the next 40 feet.
How far is it? 40 feet?
40
Right.
feet.
I mean, I don't have anything to make this easier. I would just shimmy.
How big is the gap?
About 40 feet.
About
40 feet.
Oh,
Fabio, why don't you take the rope with you?
sure. I was also above board. I was also gonna say, if there's somebody specifically that we are concerned about trying to do this, I can give them spider climb. And they basically can't fall.
I mean, if I have to, I can burn a spell slot. I can. Oh, that's so much. I don't know. I'm nervous about having to fight this hag, but I can.
Yeah, I would rather. I never use my spells in combat, so I would rather use my spells now and have you save them. So if.
Because I could make this easier, but I'd have to cast multiple for 40 feet, and I don't want to.
Okay, Joe, question. I've tried to look this up before, and it's very confusing because arcane tricksters are basically bootleg wizards, right?
Yeah.
So I haven't really run into like needing to figure this out because I normally only cast like one spell in a blue moon.
Yeah.
But how do I know how many times I'm allowed to cast a thing?
So that'd be based on your spell slots. How many times you can do it. For how many spells you might have prepared, let me double check. You have. How many spells? Let's see. You have to cast. I think.
Like Spider Climb is a level 2 spell.
Yeah. And so if it's a level 2 spell, you guys are level 9. You can cast Spider Climb twice because you'd have 2 spell slots.
Okay.
Of second level. Yeah, 6 spells, and you can cast 4 first, 2 second.
Okay. So I could cast Spider Climb on Timmy and Scold, who I think we would be the most nervous about falling.
I have +5 to acrobatics.
You've got really good acrobatics, yeah.
Yeah. So it might be worth giving it to someone else. I'm thinking if we can, above board, if we can send you over there with a rope, then it might give us advantage on our rolls or something, just to like secure a rope for that we can hold on to. Because you're not gonna fail.
Don't say that shit. What the fuck?
Smile.
Okay. So is the plan that we take like a python or something and like stab it into the wall and tie rope off onto it, and then I take the rope across, and then you guys have like an extra thing to hold on to, or like
That could be big.
Okay. Then we'll do that. So I will still cast Spider Climb on Timmy. And then I'll hand a python to Scold because he's a thick boy.
Mm-hmm.
And he can hammer that into the side of the mountain.
Okay.
Tink.
Tie off rope, and then I'll be like, all right. I'll just like tug on it a few times when I'm over there. Oh, I'll just message you. Spells are great. And then just start like,
Yeah.
well, since I can cast Spider Climb twice and we really need me to get across there, I'll cast Spider Climb on myself as well. So I can literally just walk across. And yeah, I'll just walk until I get to a point that's like safe.
Yep. Yeah, it gets wider
like
after the 40 feet. To get to a good like 5 or 6 feet going outwards, so you kind of got much more room there. It's just seems to be kind of a broken part of the lip.
Okay, then I'll just no, I won't yell. I don't want to cause an avalanche. I'll message to feel like I think we're good. She'll see, is there like a tree or like a rock or something that she can tie the other end off on?
Probably no rocks, or definitely no trees. Probably no rocks that are as secure. You're probably best yet is to use a python, or like like the.
Okay, I'll try to do the same thing on the other side.
I'm gonna Spider Climb over and help with my hammer to get it in.
Right.
Yeah. I would say with that you knock it in pretty deep. It looks like it will hold a lot of weight.
Sick.
Okay, so you have a rope. Okay. You two are both on the other side. There is the two. Is it Python or Python? Python, right?
I always call them pythons.
So did I.
How long does Spider Climb last?
Let me dubs check. It lasts for up to an hour.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so I'm just gonna keep going back and guidancing everyone who's going across normally.
Nice.
Cool. So, the way we're going to do it now with this is if you want to go across, it's going to be a straight acrobatics check. But if you slip, you can do an athletics check to grab hold of the rope. Or to see if your grip holds on the rope. So it's kind of like having an advantage, but having a secondary thing.
All right. So what are we doing? We're doing acrobatics.
Acrobatics if you're going across.
All right.
Someone can also do Basil as
otherwise
well.
I'm going to chicken out.
Yeah, I was gonna do Basil.
All right.
The way I'd see it is if Basil falls, they're probably going to use polymorph. And that'll knock away a spell slot for next time. But currently they can get away with that.
14 plus guidance 15.
It's exactly what you needed to.
Thank God
is
for
this
guidance.
is this for Aaron?
That's for Basil.
Basil.
Oh, it's for Basil.
Yeah.
You see, there's a moment where it almost slips. Remembers your words. Your magic holds it up a little bit, like it almost like puts a little bit of a strain on the back of the hill. And Basil slowly climbs across and gets to the other side. Who wants to go next?
I don't really want to, but I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'm not gonna look. Oh, a 5.
5.
As
Even
I
with the
feel
guidance.
myself fall,
Can
Yep.
Basil give bardic inspiration?
can I try to, like, how far am I before I fall, I guess? Can I Misty Step the rest of the way?
I'd say with a 5, you wouldn't have made it 10 feet.
Okay.
Can I get an athletics check to see if you grab hold?
I am very bad at these. Yes.
I would say sing her slip. Basil would shoot a bardic inspiration.
Okay.
Try to help her keep her
Athletics
footing.
check. You can add a bardic inspiration.
I have a -1.
Do it. Roll it. Just do it.
15.
You slip, you grab hold of it, and you manage to pull yourself up. The adrenaline kicking in. Back to acrobatics.
So now I'm holding onto the rope.
Yep. You're about 5
Alright.
feet across.
I'm gonna
Can
take a deep
I
breath.
can I walk over and help her?
Yeah.
So I've still got spider climb.
Yeah, you get advantage to the acrobatics check if you're getting help.
All right. I'm gonna just look up. My eyes fucking huge.
You're fine. I got you.
This is bullshit.
No, you're good.
17.
Hell yeah.
With the help, because you had an 8 on the other one, there's moments where you're going to slip again, but like Fabian managed to hold you up and kind of keep going, and like just the reinforcement, and you slowly get across to the other side. There's a moment where you're like, oh my god, when's it going to stop? And you finally arrive at the other side and feel kind of the thicker land beneath you.
I don't want to come back this way, and I really appreciate you.
Oh, that's very sweet.
And then I'm just gonna sit down.
This is Aaron's roll. Oh!
Aaron slips with a 9. Athletics check.
Oh,
Manages to grip hold, pull himself back up. He's 5 feet across.
I'm not used to climbing.
Oh, Aaron.
not to be a broken record, but can I go help him?
Yep, absolutely. You get advantage
Y'all
on the
need to start
acrobatics.
just waiting for me.
With an 18.
18.
So they shimmy across. Aaron feels his feet on the other side. Scold is the only one on the other side now.
Bobby will walk
Wait,
back over and be like,
has
"Come on,
Basil been?
Scold.
Yeah,
Let's
Basil
go."
went
Yep.
first, yeah. Made it immediately.
Okay.
Can I, if I get over there fast enough, can I give him advantage off the bat?
I would say yes. For sure. Yeah, I'd say it's advantage. He's a lot heavier to hold.
She could, how is
Yeah.
she gonna help me?
The problem is,
Well, like to help kind of put out a steadying hand.
If I slip, we
Yeah.
both go.
That's true.
Yeah.
he is going to be heavy.
alright, well,
If he slips properly bad, you're not going to be able to hold on to him. Or if you do,
That's
you're
true.
going with
Is it just acrobatics?
just an acrobatics, yeah. With advantage, though, because you've got a
regular
bit of
roll?
a supporting roll.
Okay. 18.
Because the other one was a 7, you would have felt yourself slipping a couple of times where you're just like, your feet just don't fit the holds. And Fabian's like, just kind of like slipping around, puts a hand underneath the foot, and then you kind of step properly. And you manage to get yourself onto the other side safely.
Yeah.
All of you have made it across the gap.
Yay!
Good job, very smart thinking. You continue around, wrapping around the mountain, and it's only another half an hour or so before you eventually see just in the distance, embedded into a mountain where it kind of caves inwards, in the shadow of the mountain, you see the rock formation as it comes out, almost like a clawed hand, and the entrance going in. Ungra's cave.
Okay.
Let's reread her
Yeah.
poem, right? Her part of the poem.
Yeah. Do you have it?
Yeah.
Mammoth, rhino.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
No, please. I insist.
Fight.
You started it.
Nope.
Oh,
it's too late.
Mammoth, rhino, orc, and troll share one common trait, and the mountain she resides in shares their splintered fate. Rarely does she leave her home to come down to the ground, but those who seek her demise know that enemies abound. She will twist your fear into anger and charity to pain. The cruelest stories of hags, Annis often to blame. To seek her out, stand within her mount and make clear your fears. For if you are as frightened as you can, Ungra soon appears. So we have to declare what we're most terrified of in order to get her out, I guess.
Enemies abound implies there's going to be a lot of enemies trying to stop us. And then she probably like turns our fear into something that we have to fight. The
So,
encounter.
do we want to try intellect fortress?
Yeah, so how does that work? What is that?
So, thanks to Tasha's, apparently other people can cast it. For the duration, you or one willing creature you can see within range has resistance to psychic damage, as well as an advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws. And then at higher levels, it's going to hit more people. But if she actually wants us to be afraid and then we're not afraid, is that bad? I don't fucking know.
Right. She'll twist your fear into anger and charity into pain.
So we have to stand in the mouth of her cave and yell our fears. And if she believes it to be legit, she will show.
Can you paste that poem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
It's
not.
one of the hand. It's in the handouts in Roll20.
It's called like I've Newton Tongue of Bard or
Oh, handouts. It's
yeah.
Does this mean that the enemies that we have to fight in there are mammoth, rhino, orc, and troll?
No. Mammoth, orc, and
I think it's just the tusk,
Mammoth,
right?
rhino, orc, and troll share one common trait, which is a tusk. And the mountain she resides in shares their splintered fate. So she's in the splintered tusk mountain.
Oh, right. Sorry. Got it.
So we've done everything except the bottom two lines.
We just have to summon her now and
Yeah.
deal with whatever she throws at us. Okay. Got it.
So you're making your way towards the cave.
Anybody
Juicy.
got any gripping fears?
Do I see people face Raven?
No. Roll a
Not
perception
here,
check.
huh?
All right. I'll roll it. Okay. Saffron, you're not helping right now. Oh, I still have advantage. Only a 12.
You didn't see one. As you're
Stand
slowly...
within her.
Sorry.
Sorry.
No, you go.
I'm
No, it's
curious
good.
where exactly. I'm curious where exactly we need to stand, if that's clear or not.
So
We
as you
just
get
all-
closer to the clawed hand in the shadow of the mountain, it seems darker here from the shadowed mountain above you. Looking inside with dark vision, you can see a little ways in. And you see there's an open, it's very similar to the other cave with the giant's head. Kind of a cave that seems to be almost like domed out, and it's seems to be her lair. Deep within the mountain.
How wide is the opening?
The opening for the
entrance?
actual cave, 15 feet.
Okay. So we don't have to go single file, is really what I was
No.
asking. Okay.
As you were told by the giant, she's locked.
Okay. I don't know. Do we want to try? Should we try this spell? I mean, if I get
Sure.
stopped and I lose concentration, then it.
I guess like, so my intelligence is 7, but wisdom and charisma are Garbo. Well, and my intelligence modifier is 3, but my saving throw is a 7, assuming that we would be using saving throws.
What are you guys afraid of?
Oh, I just dealt with my fear at the lake.
Like,
I don't think anything's scarier than that.
what are you? I don't want to just say. Is it better if we just tell each other now? And then maybe we're prepared?
Tell me, I'll know if you're lying.
How will you know?
I got one.
I can smell fear.
Oh, that's right. You can.
If you're being genuine, I'll know.
Okay. I'm really scared that one day I'm gonna go back to where I grew up and everybody's gonna be gone and they're all gonna be dead. And maybe it was because of stupid shit that I did and I wound up coming back around and they all died and I never got to tell them that I actually really loved them, and that's probably what I'm scared of the most. If I was gonna make a swing. I also don't.
That was a lot. I didn't want to smell that.
What?
He's gonna.
Hey, come on! I'm trying to be vulnerable here. You wanted to smell it.
He's gonna put her.
Are we in the mouth of the cave saying this?
Are you?
I think we're just outside
Yeah,
of it.
I think that's the plan.
Sure.
Are we? Sure. Fia's gonna put her hand on Fabia's shoulder and squeeze it a little bit and be like, I'm really, I'm afraid that I'm gonna wake up and everyone's gonna be gone. And they're gonna realize that I wasn't really good at anything and good at stuff. And they found somebody better, so they just left. And they left me alone.
Scold verdict.
Yeah, it's pretty legit.
Thanks, Cold.
Does it have to be our deepest fear or just something we're afraid of?
Oh, I don't know.
If you are as frightened as you can, it says.
I guess I'm most afraid of losing my father then.
How about you,
Okay.
Scold?
Nothing really.
No, not.
insight
Come
check that.
on, dude.
My fish gets undercooked. I hate that shit.
No, you are gonna be the reason this bitch doesn't show up. She's gonna be like, that
19
fucking
insight
bear.
check.
They were all so vulnerable, and this fucking bear.
Are you, Scold? Are you
I don't fit death.
admitting how much you like us?
What?
Oh my god, your true
That's
fear
not
right?
fair.
is
what you're-
vulnerability.
Is that what you're afraid
No,
of? Having
it's not.
friends?
That's wow.
I don't care about you guys.
Wow. Oh.
I don't have one. Yeah, I don't have one. There.
I think he's afraid of opening up.
Oh my gosh.
Scold, you can trust us.
I can't think of anything. I don't know what to tell you.
He's afraid. Are you okay? Let's spitball. Are you afraid that that this whole thing with your giant is actually a huge prank war, and everybody knows about it but you?
Are you
I
afraid
wasn't
that
until
when
you brought that up.
and when you
Okay,
find
cool.
him,
All right.
it's really a surprise party and everyone jumps out
Oh
and
my
yells
gosh, and it
surprise
took
at
you
you?
so long to get there.
That would be awful.
Yeah, that would really suck. That would be embarrassing
hate
for you.
surprise
Maybe not
parties.
scary, but
What about Basil? Basil, what are you afraid of?
Spiders. No, I don't know what he say. He'd probably
Commitment.
Yeah.
put words in Bree's mouth. Go for it. Do it.
I think he'd probably say, like you,
Losing
Fabio?
his friends.
Yeah, losing my friends, my family.
Aw, guys, let's all hug. Not you, Scold.
You're not afraid of anything.
Let's all hug.
There's one person who hasn't spoken up as well.
But Aaron.
Oh.
Robit. What's Robit scared of?
Oh, Scold's just gone too.
We can wait.
His aunt's gonna be scolded.
We've got time.
I'm afraid of Scold never opening up.
Oh, is he back? Oh.
That was a fucking
And he's
fake
gone.
out. Wow, dude.
Excuse me. Sorry, guys. It's rude.
Every time you've been saying your fears as well, you hear like a wisp in the mountain, just like a wind that blows through. Almost like your voice being carried through it.
He just opened the door. Did he order food? That
My
bad
God.
man.
You have real life advantage to perception. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
right?
I've seen your
With
house.
headphones on.
You are miles away from him right now, and you are managing to hear everything he's doing. That's madness to me.
I hide my real life rabbit ears in my hair. Interesting.
Wow.
Oh, good.
Aaron.
I'm not afraid of anything.
I'm afraid of something.
What?
Now I'm afraid of something. It's that fucking freaky guy.
What are you afraid of?
Zalfel.
Why are you?
He took everything from me.
An
His
Advent?
voice changed.
Yes.
Who are you?
I was one of his knights, the king. My name is York.
And you were there when.
I was there when he summoned them.
I'm sorry.
No, you shouldn't be sorry. It was long ago. If anything, I should be sorry. I could have stopped him. I could have changed his mind.
Wait, how are you in a robot? Were you always a robot?
No. I was a man.
And
I thought the only way to stop him was to draw a damn card.
Oh.
drew a card?
The next thing I knew, I was awake in this body.
I'm now kind of afraid of the deck.
What? So who? If you're York, then who's Aaron? You're both.
And from what I could tell, I could sort of read through his memories. He was made in darkness, sort of with others like him, sent to an arena to test his fighting, but he fell, and somehow I think I sparked him back.
Yo, this is trippy.
Fucking heavy.
I don't even know when it is. Somebody I knew is still here.
Are you happy now?
You'd hear, when you said Zalfar, you hear that. The whisper of your voice being carried into the cave.
Oh, so he's the only one telling the truth. You're all frauds.
No, it happened to everyone. You
No.
just
No,
you
we
didn't
heard
have your
it.
headset
There
on.
have been whispers the whole time, Scold.
Yeah, scold.
I wasn't listening because I'm not afraid of anything.
All right, new spitball. Scold is afraid of being powerless, of not being able to do the things that he needs to do to fulfill all of the shit that gives his life meaning. And if he doesn't have power or strength, then what's even the point?
That's cool.
Thoughts?
Okay, fair.
Wispies?
Whisper.
Is that genuine?
Yeah, yeah.
You hear it whisper into the cave. You've heard whispers for all of you. All 6 of you. And then you hear, "Come on in."
Sounds nice.
We can look at this one, yeah. I don't think I want to.
I think
If you
I
want
don't like
to.
that.
I was kidding. It wasn't a real fear of mine, so let's just go in.
Okay.
I go, but following behind someone. I'm not first.
Don't go first.
Okay.
My
Yeah,
night
we'll
vision
all
goggles.
walk behind Scold.
You walk
I'm afraid of going first. I can't.
into the shadowy cave, heading towards down this long tunnel until you get into the circular room. And unlike where the giants had kind of carved out in the stalagmites and you'd see the stumps, this room seems to have no essence of stalagmite, no essence of stalactite, almost like it's perfectly carved. Like something large went through here, big enough to kind of carve it out. The walls seem flat, kind of chiseled down, but right in the center of the room, a stalagmite is jutting out of the ground, and on it, a large, piercing eye embedded into the spike of the stalagmite, and it watches you as you all come in. Can everyone please make a wisdom saving throw? You have advantage because of Intellect Fortress, right? Actually, who did you cast Intellect Fortress on?
Yeah, I was
Sorry,
gonna say.
I didn't actually say it. I didn't actually say who I cast it on. So I'll cast it at wait, what's my max? Fuck. Hold on. Sorry. I'll cast it at 5th level, which means I can cast it on 3 people. So I'll cast it on myself so I don't get boned and lose concentration
Oh,
on
is it
it.
3? Yeah. Because it's one person usually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yourself.
So I'll do me, and then who else? Is
Go on the
gonna
people
be-
that have magic.
So me, Timmy, Basil, and then leave.
You have to choose somebody. So yeah, do you?
I mean,
you
Timmy and Basil can heal, so whatever happens, the best choice to
That
have
would
it,
be important, yeah.
and then just give it to
okay.
yourself.
So yeah, so I guess me and
Okay.
Timmy and Basil. Let me make sure.
Then please do
marked
wisdom
it
saving
off.
throws.
Normie ass wisdom rolls. 19.
Nat
Oh
20.
my God.
Hey,
Holy
I got a
shit.
6.
How did we do that?
Uh,
So wise.
Jesus, I failed.
Oh no!
Can someone also roll for Basil as well, please?
Oh,
Advantage.
yes.
Yeah, I'll do
because
it.
he's advantage because he has
An
intellect
advantage.
fortress.
Oh, he's got a -1.
I have a +2. Why is
But
my
he got
Another
a
nat
nat
20.
shit?
Incredible.
Staring in front of this eye. Most of you. Was the 6 for Aaron, by the way?
Yeah.
Most of you stood there watching the eye. You feel something try and kind of wash over your emotions. But for you, Fia and Aaron, beginning with Aaron, He sees around him pillars in the corners of the room. The ground beneath him, kind of a carpet leading up. And he sees staring just beyond the eye, Zalfel burning with fury, eyes on fire, smiling as every single knight around him is dead. And your hand can't reach the deck from fear as your hand just shakes. You can see it in your own palm. And you're just watching Zalfel watching you, tormenting Aaron in this last moment. Fear. When you look at the eye, you kind of laugh to yourself that everything's going to be okay. But looking around and everyone's gone. You're alone in this cave now. You remember them saying that they were going to leave. You weren't good enough. They don't need your help with this hag. They've gone elsewhere. Let's just leave her to be eaten by it. She couldn't handle herself anyway. And you stand now. Both of you frightened. But for the rest of you, you see as the wall at the back of the room starts to shift. And you hear the cracking as something starts climbing through the wall. Almost like it's kind of like a beaded doorway almost, but just the stone molding around them, they climb through. The stalagmite lowers and the eye rolls towards the wall. You see a large, bulbous arm with human ears and eyes and teeth attached to it, almost like just in the skin, like moles coming out of it. Reach out and collect the eye and drag it into the darkness. The stalagmite morphs into a large throne, and 4 stools start coming out. A pit right in the center into permanent darkness forms, only about 4 feet in diameter. Off to one side, another cave leads offward. But climbing from the wall, you can see this large hag, unlike the last one. Bulbous, large, muscular arms of all different human and elf body parts attached to it. Eyes which kind of roll around within the skin. You see it's hunched back, and on its back, kind of withering bark and stone almost protruding and growing from its body. A great big smile of teeth, jagged like sharp rock and teeth and bone kind of merged together. It uses its arms to kind of drag itself forward and lifts up into the air slightly, lifting its full body off the ground, and then lands down again. Its arms probably about 10 feet long. It reaches one up and scratches and places its eye back into the socket. It wears kind of jagged robes. And then climbs around, almost a little bit kind of like beast-like. And lifts itself with its arms beside the chair, lifts its entire body, and sits down, lowering into the chair. Lets out a smile.
Evening. Please, my dears, seat yourselves and let us make some deals.
And that is where we'll end tonight's session in the Cave of Underground.
Man.
All right.
That was great. So much happened this session, I feel like.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, a big session for sure. Alrighty. Well, thank you everyone for playing as usual. That was episode 59. We're episode 60 next week.
Ooh.
Crazy.
And yeah, there you go. A lot of lore drops and stuff today. Thanks everyone for playing.
I can't. I was gone while you were lore dropping, tending to Babu.
Yeah.
But when I got back, I was like, "Hey, what's been going on?" And everyone was like, "Lore," but it's fine because you're drugged out, so you wouldn't know this anyway. And I was like, "That's fair." So I don't know what any of the lore was, and I never will.
And I never will.
Yeah. I mean, the one person who learned most lore is probably the one who keeps the closest to his chest. So yeah, it's true. All right, should we do some shout outs?
Let's do it.
Mr. Strippin.
Hello, I'm Mr. Strippin. You can find me at twitch.tv/MrStrippin. No, twitch.tv/Strippin. This week, gonna be playing some Space Station 13. Also, gonna be playing some Lost Judgment when it drops in a couple days. That'll be fun. So come on by, 2 Eastern every day. Shout out to Joe. This is an amazing session. Shout out to my fellow players. I definitely hogged the spotlight this episode, which was.
No, it was your moment.
Did you?
Thanks.
It was lovely. We rarely get lots of Scold RP, so.
Yeah,
That's bullshit, and you know it.
Breebun couldn't make it today, but you can find her on twitch.tv/Breebun, or her socials are the same. She plays a bunch of variety games. I think she was playing through Life is Strange 2. I think I saw recently. I don't know if she completed that or not.
With no music.
Yeah,
I did
it's
have
very
a
awkward.
birthday. I have a birthday inspiration. I'm just gonna give it to myself. I'll hold on to it. Does it become a regular inspiration after today? Loses its power?
Yeah, you can save it for next week. I think birthday inspiration lasts for a good month, and after that it's like
Birthday month?
Yeah, your birthday month. Yeah, that way you can have it.
Cool.
Well, you still got yours, right? When was your birthday?
August is done now.
What August the what?
August 6th was my birthday, and I recall us having a conversation where we were like, it's only for the one week, right? And you were like, yeah.
Well, okay, you can have your birthday inspiration
Wow, Joe.
if you use it next week.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
I rolled 9 crits today, so
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Do you even need it, really?
It's tough because you'll get a big roleplay day, and then I feel unfair giving you guys birthday inspiration that doesn't get used. So it makes sense. It makes sense.
I didn't even need it, dog.
You're true. That's true. I mean, you would have slipped off the mountain without Fabia, so that it might have come in clutch then.
Yeah, I'm pretty fucking important.
True.
Talking of which, do you want to shout yourself out, Dodger?
Yeah.
Being important.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Dodger. I'm really important. You can find me at twitch.tv/DexBonus. I play a different game every day, but every stream starts off with drinking some coffee and hanging. So it's a pretty chill vibe. Come hang out. Fantastic session, Joe. Thank you very much.
For blam.
Yeah. And that's me.
Cool. Shane.
Hi, I'm Shane. I'm a variety streamer at Shane Hawk on everything. I want to play Space Station 13, but I'm still waiting to be whitelisted. I didn't realize it takes a while.
Are you? Oh.
Yeah. Because I never played before, but a few days ago I was like, yeah, I want to play. And then Tomato was like, oh, it's going to take a while.
Oh.
So now I just have to wait until I get the okay that I can join.
Yeah, we'll rush him.
And until then,
Next
I guess I'll just play whatever. Well, he's not the one doing it, which is why it takes a while.
Yeah, it goes to the other people's stuff. Yeah, makes sense. All righty. Well, I hope to see you on. I think you'd love it. You'd get so stuck into it. Old Lady Gamer.
Hello, I'm OLG. Sometimes you can find me on Twitch. Sometimes you can find me on Twitter. Sometimes you can find me here on my sofa playing D&D, like today. Shout out to Tyrus and Tyra. It was good to see them again. Yep. Shout out to Iridesce. And the rest of the crew. Now I'm really excited to find out where they are in Wolfguard. We're just yeah, right? I don't know. That is very exciting. And shout out to Joe for making a cool episode, even though I just rolled utter pants at the end. Yeah, that was great until then. That moment ruined it, but the rest of it was super good. So, yeah, thanks.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Joe Fudge. You can find me on this channel. I stream most days, except for Saturdays. But next week, next Saturday, it'll be much, much earlier than this at 4 p.m. British time or 11 a.m. Eastern, I think. I know it's 8 a.m. in the Pacific.
Yeah.
Is a one-shot over on the Dungeons and Dragons official channel. They reached out and they wanted me to do a one-shot for the D&D celebrations, their official celebration each year, where they talk about all the new books that are coming out. On the Saturday, nice and early, we are opening up Saturday with a one-shot called Hermes Heist. It is an introduction to my next world. You'll find Strippin and OG are playing characters in that one, among a bunch of other people. And yeah, it's a heist, a 2-hour heist. And it'll be very heavy theatre of the mind and roleplay, and it should be a lot of fun. So come by next Saturday for that. Otherwise, during the week, I'll be playing Space Station 13. And on Tuesdays, I read a bunch of homebrew. You can also find my Patreon, !Patreon, where I post up all of the GM notes and stuff. And you can find !Godforged if you want to get to our Discord and talk about the episodes or post up any art, all that kind of stuff. Otherwise, thank you everyone for coming by. And I'll see you all next week or during the week if we play games or whatnot. Cool. Okay. Thanks everyone for playing, and see you then. Bye bye.
Goodbye.